Joining us.
The final preseason game means the final dress rehearsal and the final chance to impress the folks upstairs. Jet Luchenko is hoping to do that here today. As for Dan Vladar, he finally gets to start and play on the ice surface here at Xfinity Mobile Arena. It is the 7th and final preseason game for both the Devils and the Flyers as they hook up here for a matinee in South Philadelphia. And a pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to our coverage of Flyers hockey on NBC Sports Philadelphia. Along with Brian Boucher, I'm Jim Jackson. Ashlyn Sullivan will join us later on. And Bouch, this is it. The 7th and final game for the veterans, their final chance to tune up. And then for a couple of players, a chance to impress. And then there's one guy between the pipes, Dan Vladar, who finally plays here on home ice. He's had a good camp thus far.
Yeah, he has. And probably most important for a guy like him, right? I mean, he's on a new team. He wants to make a good impression in front of the home fans, get comfortable here. I've liked his camp. I like his size. I think this is a great opportunity for Vladar here in Philadelphia. I think in Calgary, he showed he can play, but he was behind a guy that was proven to be their number one in Dustin Wolf. I think here in Philadelphia, he's getting an opportunity to play more games. I'm not saying it's going to be 60 games, but certainly he's going to share the net with Sam Ersson. I think it's an upgrade to the tandem that they had last year, and I'm sure for him that this last preseason game means a lot to him. He wants to finish on a strong point so that when the season starts next week, he feels good about his game.
And Dan Vladar not the only newcomer to this lineup for the Flyers. There's Trevor Zegras, of course, but also there's one Christian Dvorak. Now, his signing might have been under the radar for some of the fans out there, but we're seeing here in camp that this guy is good and he's versatile.
Intelligent player as well, yeah. But you're right. His versatility is what really stands out to me. He can play in the middle of the ice. He can play wing. He can play up the lineup. He's a good penalty killer, a conscientious player. So, like, you think about it, you lose a guy like Ryan Poehling, who's a good player for the Flyers, but you add a guy like Christian Dvorak, who, to me, is in that same category, perhaps a notch above. So, a good signing for Danny Briere. He's on a one-year deal. You know that this guy's going to be motivated. We'll see how he slots today. Looks like he may be playing wing, different than center the other night, but we'll see his versatility on full display here this afternoon.
Flyers hockey on NBC Sports Philadelphia is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota has 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. That's more than any other brand. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks, like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on all Silverado 1500 models.
Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
DraftKings Casinos combining two things I love: touchdowns and bonus rounds. And we're going deep with 1,000 slots and counting. Jackpot, baby.
New players play $5 and get 500 total spins on Huff and More Puff, plus a first-day replay up to 1,000 in credits. The crown is yours.
Saquon, do you think you'll win the MVP this year?
I already have my MVP.
But the awards don't get announced until later. Well, what do you mean?
I mean, most valuable policy.
From who, Saquon?
Who do you think? Cure Auto Insurance. Take it from me. They're the cure.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
Okay, $1 million deal on the line. You got this. Recaps and sales meeting insights from all my team's calls? Otter AI. It's you who is man's best friend.
Otter, the AI meeting agent.
impending arrival of the regular season brings both optimism and excitement. The Flyers have plenty of established players, leaders who know what is expected of them, warriors that do whatever it takes to make the necessary play, and unique talents that are just scratching the surface of their potential. But there are still roster decisions to be made. Players looking to prove they belong in the best league in the world, wearing the famed orange and black. Today, those individuals have one last chance to state their case as the final decision makers look on. Opening faceoff is next.
Get this exceptional offer on select Cadillac models. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
My team at BetParx Online Sportsbook and Casino has a great offer for new users. Download the BetParx app, open a new account, and get up to $50 back on your first sports bet if it doesn't win. Plus, you'll get a BetParx bonus box with 50 BetParx coins and 50 bonus spins on the BetParx Collectum online slot game. For details, visit betparx.com.
We've always had villains to face.
Bad guys to take down. But you
are the most horrible.
Always taking away. You never get anything back.
Despite MS, I will keep riding my bike.
I will continue to live the life that my daughter expects me to live.
I won't let MS change who I am inside.
I'm going to keep being me.
Huge sports day and night in the complex here in South Philadelphia is well underway. It continues with this preseason game between the Flyers and Devils. Boosh, how about those starting goaltenders?
Yeah, for the Flyers, we get a look at Dan Vladar here on home ice, and as I mentioned in the open, you know, you want to end the preseason on a good note, so you feel good for the start of the regular season. Looking forward to seeing Vladar here on home ice, and veteran Jake Allen down at the other end of the ice. A lineup that's not so strong for the New Jersey Devils, so you got to imagine that Allen is going to be he's going to be tested here this afternoon. But he's a veteran; I'm sure he can handle it.
Indeed, the Flyers pretty close to the lineup. We expect to see Thursday night in Sunrise. Maybe a couple guys, Tyson Foerster, some other guys are out. Here's Trevor Zegras. He'll be in the lineup. He moves in to the backhand off the goalpost. Off the goalpost, that close was Zegras to getting the Flyers off to a quick start. There is an arm up in the air, though, and an early penalty here as the Flyers' Travis Konecny was apparently clipped. And so the Flyers are getting an early power play.
Jersey number 14, minor penalty, ice sticking.
Post. Off the goalpost, that close was Zegras to getting the Flyers off to a quick start. There is an arm up in the air, though, and an early penalty here as the Flyers try. Here's Sean Couturier, the captain, back out to Cam York. Didn't see much power play time last year, did Cam, but he's on the second unit pretty consistently in camp so far this year. Dvorak to Bobby Brink. Down low. Played back out by Cates to Brink. Brink in along the wall, back into the slot. Dvorak drops it to York, takes the shot. And it went high and wide. The rebound at the side of the net. Brink digging away was knocked down, gets back up and plays it out to York. And so York will go to the other side to Couturier. Now Cates this way. Brink a little behind him. His pass goes back out to York. Now the one-timer by Couturier and the save made by Allen. Brink to the puck. Second unit set up and getting some chances here, but that pass knocked down. Dvorak continues to dig for it, but the Devils find it, and it's cleared all the way down the ice by Tobias Villain.
Some good movement there by the second power play unit and good puck retrievals as well.
Power play is over. The Flyers did get a chance or two, though. Rodrigo Abels is out on the ice now. Garnet Hathaway and Jet Luchenko, the 18-year-old who, he's a teenager, let's say, and a guy who just turned 19. And for Jet Luchenko, it's quite interesting because it's either here in Philadelphia or back to junior. So that decision has either been made or is about to be made. Also, he could stay here for 9 games again. Since he did not make that last year, and we're told there's no carryover there from the 4 games he played last year with the Flyers, so he gets 9 again this year. Here's Abels. He's had an outstanding preseason. Leads the Flyers in shots. He's played all but 1 game. This is his 6th game here this afternoon. Devils move into the zone. Austin Strand will roll it deep. You're not going to recognize a lot of the names for the Devils from this one. Ethan Edwards will go cross ice. The shot! That one knocked down by Vladar, and then side of the net, Abels is there. He'll clear it out to center and down the ice. No icing as Edwards goes back to pick it up. The Devils 3-2-1 in their preseason. Played most of their regulars in a win against the Rangers on Thursday night. And so they decided to travel a lot of prospects and guys who will spend a lot of time in Utica, the AHL this year. Nick Seeler gets that puck ahead. Tippett to Konechny. Back to Tippett. Full bore in, then stops and turns. Gets it back out his pass in the skate. So Drysdale and the Devils are able to clear.
And that pass not in the wheelhouse for Drysdale and his feet, which kind of killed the play there.
Drysdale has the puck back. His pass ahead to Konechny. Konechny back across. Tippett, the shot blocked. And it rolls across. Drysdale sandwiched, but the puck to Tippett. He'll get it back out. That's Konechny going the other way with it. York back to Konechny for the shot. Gloved by Jake Allen. And he'll hang on.
Well, Flyers with an early power play have tested Jake Allen, but probably the best chance of the power play came shorthanded for Paul Cotter, trying to go short side over the blocker, but the size of Vladar pays off as he fights that one off with his right shoulder. And then just moments ago, shot and a follow-up chance as well that Vladar is able to come up with a couple of saves. So Vladar early on looking quite sharp.
28 years of age from Prague. There's the Devils in his career. 2-0 with a shutout. Dvorak steps in against Kevin Rooney, another guy in a PTO for this Devils team. Flyers will send the puck deep and around the boards. They keep it in. Cam York squeezing through along the wall. Got that puck to Matvei Michkov. Michkov back across ice. Down the redirection. Try by York. Save made. Rebound back to Michkov. Around behind the net. Centers it in front of that shot from Dvorak. Smothered by Allen. Some nifty puck work by the Flyers in the offensive zone there.
Yeah, and Cam York, we've seen in this preseason, he's been around the net quite a bit, and he gets activated right here as he goes right to the net, and that's his deep partner that
fights to make the team. Couldn't do much with that puck, though. It's Strand the other way for the Devils. He's bumped off the puck. Dvorak is there. Ahead to Bobby Brink. Cross ice for Couturier. And then the aerial into the Devils zone. The Devils get the puck back as the Flyers change. Inning through center. Really falling down was the Devils defenseman, Mikhail Diat. Get it back to the Devils and they send it in. Legarier. After the forecheck, Brink chops it out through center ice. Diat has to go back and pick it up. And he'll send a long pass out in center. Jonathan Gruden's pass was knocked down, and a second try he'll go back to Diat. And he drops it off for Tobias Villain. See what I mean? These are not names that you will recognize.
But you're staying sharp.
I'm trying.
You're doing a heck of a job.
Kalen Addison will send the puck in, and that is icing. He did not get the red line.
I'm trying to learn as you call the game, JJ.
Don't look too closely. I might be getting some of them wrong.
Yeah, Rick Tocchet said before the game, generally he's been pretty pleased with the way Cam's gone. He did say the one area that he'd like to clean up is the odd mans, in particular the 2-on-0s they've been giving up. He said they've given up 4 in this preseason, and that's something you give up in a whole year, never mind in a preseason. Jeremy Colleton filling in for Sheldon Keefe behind the Devils bench, former head coach of the Chicago Blackhawks. As
This Devils team playing with a mostly minor league lineup here this afternoon.
It is a lineup that will be in the minors, but there are some legitimate prospects, so we'll talk about them. Here's Obels trying to get it ahead to Hathaway. And he was spilled, and so the Devils will move in. And that shot in net by Mike Hartman is denied by Vladar. Jetlichenko moved it behind Hathaway with that pass, and then the turnaround shot blocked. Hartman couldn't get it through. Sealer dumped in the puck back out to Addison. He's an NHL veteran with Minnesota and San Jose. Depth defenseman for these Devils. Drysdale checked. And the Devils get the puck back. Rooney spins it into the corner. Drysdale will just hoist one out through center. It's going to go all the way down the ice, and they call that icing. Strand had the edge on Tippett. There's a familiar face on the bench for the Devils as an assistant coach. There he is. He's the interim head coach. Last we saw him for the Flyers. Of course, an assistant for 2+ years here as well. And that is where he landed. He was one of the candidates for the Flyers head coaching job, but that, of course, went to Rick Tocchet. And so Brad Shaw now still considered Bush one of the top assistant coaches, especially handling defense, although the Flyers did quite well. Todd Reardon is also considered one of the top coaches as an assistant for the defense. So no drop off for the Flyers. Two really good assistant coaches when you're talking Reardon and Shaw. Here's Strand for the Devils. Down low. And then back out it goes to Rooney for a backhander that was blocked. And then moved ahead by Tippett. Connecting. He's going to throw it back across ice. Drysdale has to retreat. Sometimes coaches will stick with the same line combinations throughout camp to try to build chemistry. Rick Tocchet has chosen the other route. He's gotten a look at a lot of different combinations throughout the preseason. We're seeing some different looks here today. Zegras dropping it back. Now the pass to Tippett. Oh, and in ahead of him was Konechny drawing the whistle. Almost 8 minutes in. First period, no score.
Wawa's newest $6 meal deal is here, and it's so you. The sandwich you crave, the small fountain drink you pour, and the Hers chips you want. All for just $6. Gotta have a Wawa.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks. Like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on all Silverado 1500 models.
Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Introducing Wawa's new Spicy Jalapeno Ranch. Creamy, craveable, and kicking up the flavor to your favorite hoagies, wraps, sandwiches, and more. It's the bold twist you didn't know you needed, but it's only here for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Welcome to NBC 10 News Today.
The most accurate weather forecast certified by WeatherRate. Thunderstorms going to overtake the area. Breaking news.
Reporting live in Camden County.
That's right, Aaron. We've been following the story all night long.
The day's top stories.
This is going to impact teachers and students.
Sheila's going to tell us which roads not to take.
No matter where you are, every weekday morning. NBC 10 News Today. Count on it.
No score here from South Philadelphia. The Flyers face off against the Florida Panthers during the home opener presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar on October 13th. All fans get a Flyers home opener t-shirt. Tickets are on sale now at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com.
Youngsters?
It's an Albany River Rats.
Yes. Used to be the top affiliate of the Devils. They
reminds me of my minor league days going up to Albany.
Now they're in Utica, my hometown. But did you ever play in Utica?
I did not. No, Utica was not.
They weren't in the league for a long stretch. Robert Esch went up there and
pretty much owns the town now, right?
Hockey factory up there, yeah. It's really impressive. Travis Konechny and Trevor Zegras playing on a line today together with Owen Tippett. Again, it's a high-powered line.
Yep, last game, Matvei Michkov was on the right side of Zegras. Today it's Konechny.
Tocchet continues to search for the chemistry, and He likes to work and keep two players together a lot of the time. That puck winds up on the stick of Austin Strand, and he's able to tip it out to center ice, and then back in it goes. Devils will send it out. Steered in by Glendening. Drysdale over. We'll get that to tip it. Across for Travis Sanheim. He'll just chip it into the Devils zone. Zegras on the forecheck. Addison's back, and Allen got out there to keep the Flyers away from the puck. And now the Devils will move back. It's Addison with the pass on the left wing. Or Matthias Molosky back across as it goes for Gruden. He couldn't handle it. And Ichkov with a hit, and then he goes after that puck deep in his own zone. He's digging for it along the wall now, but they got it across. That shot by Addison, seen all the way by Vladar. He'll scoop it up and hang on.
We talked about Travis Konechny on the right side of Zegras here this afternoon. The last game against the Islanders, came off the bench. Nice feed from Nick Seeler. Grebenkin providing the screen, and Konechny able to put that one home. A career high in points for Konechny last year. Not in goals, but in points. And you can bet that he's anxious to get this thing started. And perhaps another chance to represent Canada at the Olympics, perhaps. I'm sure that's something that is on his wish list for the season.
It is. Certainly is for Sanheim, too. And he's not playing today, but got to think Canada might at least have Tyson Forster on the radar.
Yeah.
Given Sidney Crosby's
glowing
comments.
review.
Yes. Yeah. There is Sean Couturier dropping it back. It was not part of the camp that they had, so he'll have to have a great first half, Tyson. But he would help any team that he would be on. As we take a look, it's coming up. You'll be covering it, Bush, for NBC. First NHL participation since 2014, so it's been too long. Rick Tockett's involved. Konechny and Sanheim hoping to be. Long break for the NHL. And then the Flyers, you see their break from the 5th to the 25th. 20 days off for the Flyers. The oddest shot here deflects to the corner. Couturier will backhand it out. I can't wait. I mean, it's been too long since.
Yeah, I agree.
12 years, and you know, for a whole generation of players, Connor McDavid's generation, they really haven't been able to do it. So you know how pumped they are. Here's a shot, but the save on Rudy, as that was a tricky shot. He had to reach out, get his glove on it.
Almost looked like Vladar was thinking low blocker, and at the last minute was able to kick that left pad out.
Drysdale looking for Brink. Brink threw it across ice. Going back to get it is Noah Cates. So we're past the midpoint of this first period. Devils have outshot the Flyers 6-4. One of Rick Tockett's concerns about this game, with the Flyers having a pretty regular lineup and the Devils with a lot of prospects, is that you start thinking you can be fancy and you can start maybe padding your stats. Here's Cam York moving in. His shot denied by Allen. And when you have that mindset, Bush, things tend to go the wrong way. So you have to maintain your discipline.
It's all about habits, right?
Yeah.
You want to make sure that your game is consistent, predictable. You know what you're going to bring every night, and it doesn't matter who the opponent is. And this is a great opportunity to sharpen those skills.
Addison shot there, got caught up in congestion in front. Lechenko tried to give it to a teammate, ended up turning it over, and the shot was knocked away by Vladar. That was taken by Arseny Gritchuk, who's a newcomer that will most likely be with the big club for the Devils when they start their season. Came over from the KHL and has really been impressive in camp. There's number 81. Here's Obels for the Flyers. Turns with it, drops it back to Yinning. Across, hoping and getting that one through for his defense mate here today, Noah Juleson. There he is, number 47 to Yinning. His wrister, save made, is trying to get his stick on that was Hathaway. Now picked up by Obels. He tried to center it with Allen still out of the net, but it did not make it out in front. Here's Yinning with a wrister. That got through, the save made by Allen. Jalowski will try the other side of the ice. Cotter redirects it past Juleson and out to center ice. Yinning's on it there. And Yinning will just wind it into the Devils zone. Strand is back for it, but Zegras tied him up. He was toppled. It's back up, does Trevor. Continues to battle. Konechny trying to help him out. Puck deflects across ice. Chalowski is there. Konechny staying on him. And now the Devils work it free to Strand. And he will flutter one out to center ice. Knocked down and played by the Devils into the zone by Matthias Molosky, but he did not get that puck to settle down. And the Flyers have it back. Travis Konechny. We'll get it to Nick Seeler. Seeler once again paired with Jamie Drysdale. That seems pretty well set. The top two pairs.
Good communication from the Flyers bench. You could hear the heads up from up here. And Konechny had no idea. The Devils player Kevin Rooney was coming, was able to escape a big hit.
Devils move up here. Here is Rooney. Dropped it on. Shane with chance. At the center. It didn't get out in front. Back to the point for a shot. Save Ledar through the screen. As that one got through a lot of traffic. Ethan Edwards took the shot. There's another guy that won't be with the Devils to start this year, but maybe sometime. He's considered a legitimate prospect on the blue line. Diot to the puck now, knocks it down, keeps it away from Dvorak. And then plays it to LeChance, who is the son of former NHLer Scott and the grandson of legendary Boston University head coach Jack Parker.
Yeah, Jackie Parker.
That's really in his bloodline.
Yeah.
Hockey. Yeah, you got it. Parker. And here is Dvorak sending it in.
I played briefly for Jack Parker at a World Junior Championship. Yeah, in Boston. Yeah. You're right. The guy is a legend. That's for sure.
Is he an old school kind of coach?
Yeah.
At that time. Yeah.
Well, I mean, not a Barker or anything like that, but demanding. But I enjoyed my time. I mean, listen, World Juniors are only there 3 weeks.
That's true.
Right. But I enjoyed playing for him.
Nikita Grabenkin sends this one across ice, hoping for Brink. Devils get there first. Send it through center ice and carry on in. Xavier Perrant get that puck into the Flyers zone. And the Flyers move right back out. Noah Cates plays that one into the corner. Addison is back to get it. Up to Omolowski, forced by Seeler. Puck pops free, but the Devils are able to play it up and out. Legaré was able to get a piece of it. Now Luchenko for Philadelphia, back across to Drysdale. 5.5 remaining. Flyers have even the shot count at 6, but not a lot in terms of scoring chances here over the last 3 or 4 minutes for either team. Glendening approached by Luchenko. The puck deflects out to center. And the Devils, with Gruden doing the honors, get it into the Philadelphia zone. Sanheim is sandwiched. A couple of Devils. Flyers clear the zone. Back to get it is Paul Cotter. A good year, set an all-time Devils record for hits in the season last year, and he's been one of their best players at camp. But right here, the play is offside. We step aside in a scoreless game.
Christina Ladd posted at McDonald's, thinking about how I never had a snack wrap, and I'm devastated. Imagine tasting the snack wrap for the very first time. In ranch or spicy?
Get this exceptional offer on select Cadillac models. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
If you're fed up with out-of-control property taxes,
or sick of sky-high sales taxes,
here's the guy who'd make things worse, Jack Chitterelli.
Higher property taxes?
High Tax Jack voted for it.
A 10% sales tax?
Yep, Jack talked about it. Chitterelli even backs a plan that could raise your electric bill over $200.
Higher property tax, higher sales tax, higher electric bills.
High Tax Jack. If he's governor, it's going to cost you.
They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, they are correct.
Eat like an early riser with an iced coffee for $1 and pair it with a bagel sandwich.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome back, NBC Sports Philadelphia. I am here with Coach Tocchet. Coach, the last game before it gets real in the regular season. What are your expectations this afternoon?
Yeah, I just think we want to limit the odd man rushes against. I think we want to clean up our game that way. Seeing some good stuff in the O-zone. It's a little cleaner, a little better passing and stuff like that. But I think it's important that we just keep the pace going.
And Jet Luchenko getting some preseason reps out here, working to make this team. What do you need to see from him?
Well, as he continues his speed, I think he's done a nice job there. Like hold on to pucks, shoot the puck. I think maybe be a little creative in the offensive end.
Awesome, Coach. Thanks so much. JJ, send it back up to you.
All right, Ashton, thank you very much. Jetlichenko did not play the other night. Neither did Rodrigo Abels. They're both suited up here this afternoon. Tyson Forster out, Nick Delorier out. Igor Zamula sitting this round along with Dennis Gilbert. Those are your 4 healthy scratches for the Flyers. They really only have to make one more move, Bush. They might make 2 if they want to carry 22 as opposed to 23 in their final roster. But they're at 24 healthy bodies right now.
Right.
So it's not, a lot of times you'll see 5, 6, 7 players that get cut right before the rosters are set, but only 1 or 2 for the Flyers. They've sent a lot of players back to Lehigh Valley about a week ago. There's a centering pass by Rooney that deflects through. Edwards controls as we enter the go to Rav. 4 minutes to play in this first period. Edwards all the way around with it. He'll take to the turn feed here and then wrist one. They score. May have deflected in front. And the Devils take a 1-0 lead here late in the first. It looks like Rudy got a piece of that one.
Yeah, no doubt that this was redirected on the way in. It looked like it was going to be going to the glove side of Vladar and eventually goes over the blocker side. Good job by the Devils to hang on to pucks and then just a floating wrister. And these can be so problematic for goaltenders because you've got to read on it. You see it, you know it's coming, and then at the last second, here comes a stick and knocks it in a different direction. Kevin Rooney, who is on a PTO as well, played last year in Calgary. 70 games for the Flames. Was able to tip that one past Vladar.
Yeah, Rooney, that's big for him. Glendening, most feel, has pretty much made the team already on his PTO. Rooney, they're not so sure. Score a goal, it certainly helps. There's Michkov getting it back. And so this band of AHL players and prospects has the lead now in this game. Expect a response from the Flyers as this puck is tipped toward the point. And Dvorak got it down to Michkov, who fires in the save made by Allen. Drysdale back down low, and that one winds up on the stick of the Devils defenseman Tobias Villain. He got it ahead, not out at first, but in a second try, the puck does go down the ice.
Good chance here for Michkov. Good trust by Jake Allen to know that his defenseman had Sean Couturier on the far side of the crease to not cheat, right? I mean, sometimes as a goaltender, you don't trust your D-man because it's not a regular, and maybe you're kind of inching over to Couturier, and that could open up the short side. Not the case. Allen stood right there and made a good save on Michkov.
Scramble is on in the Devil zone now. They try to get another scoring chance and maybe bury it. It's Cates, Gravenkin, Brink out there. Cates pass, though, back to the point, intercepted by Cotter, and he heads the other way for the Devils. Actually, it's Legaye. 37, not 47. He got the puck into the Philadelphia zone. Now problems for Juleson as he's tied up by Legaye. Stayed with it and clears the zone. Edwards on it in center to Strand, went off his stick. Now Yinning ahead, he has Brink. Brink checked by Edwards, taken to the wall and off the puck by the young defenseman. Flyers try to recover it in the corner, but it bounces free up the wall. Flyers do get it back. Gravenkin holding on at the line, just kept that in the zone. However, then he's checked, but worked it through to Luchenko. Luchenko spinning with it, showing some poise with that puck, flew to the slot. There's Sanheim with a shot. He scores! Travis Sanheim with his 3rd preseason goal off a nice setup from Luchenko. And the Flyers tie it at 1.
Some good work here by Jetlichenko to hang on to this puck long enough and so that a play can develop. And you heard Rick Tocchet talking to Ashton Sullivan just a few moments ago. He wants Jet to hold on to pucks, to have some creativity, to make plays, and certainly he did there. And a good job by Sanheim too to jump into a hole where Luchenko can find him. Talked about it earlier in the period with York being awfully active in the offensive zone. We've seen it from Sanheim so far in this preseason. As you mentioned, his 3rd so far the exhibition campaign. A nice answer to the Devils' first goal.
Just feel like Travis Sanheim's confidence is at an all-time high. And
you don't see these glove saves like this much anymore, JJ.
You don't. They don't flash. It's just Durkin's one that comes to mind that still does that. But Here's a quick shot, no glove save.
We see it like that typically, right?
Yes.
Where they block it and smother it.
And Jake's defense there, it came right straight at his crest, so there's not much you can do there. But
yeah, just stay to the side, get the glove going.
that would be you. Had a little flash. That was a great shot by Obels. He's shown us that great shot more than once here in camp.
He's had a nice camp, big body. I think he's got a real good chance to stick here after training camp.
Probably going to come down to whether they go with 8D or 7D. If it's 7D, I think he's all set. 8D might make it a little trickier. Here's Zegras up the middle, off on the left wing to Tippett. He dangles a bit as we hit the final minute. That's period number 1. York across. Konechny back across. Sanheim is there. Gets to York. York in deep again. Centered it. Zegras the redirection save made by Allen. Boy, Zegras is so good at that from in tight. That puck went into the bench or out of play at least. So, talk about international hockey and, you know, the World Juniors. Look at you. Ryan Boucher and Marc Denis, the showstoppers. Look at that handsome young guy.
Why wasn't I happy there? I don't.
You unhappy? I can't imagine. I mean, Mark looks, you know, happy. You got the game.
Well, he's happy because they won. They won the gold medal.
The pictures were taken after.
Yeah, right. You show me a guy that likes to lose, I'll show you a loser.
Exactly.
You know?
I certainly know that guy is not you. You always wore your heart on your sleeve. As you said, I'd much rather have it that way than the other way. There is Malone in for the Devils. Gets it back out for a one-timer. Save Vladar. The rebound was denied, but the arm goes up. There is a penalty. Delay call against Philadelphia. Edwards floats one. Redirection try blocked by Sealer. And Drysdale plays the puck to get the whistle. So the Devils will get a power play here with just 6.9 seconds remaining on the first period clock. Let's hear from Francis Chiron.
Goalie number 39, minor penalty for slashing.
Michkov sits. Pretty much a full power play for the Devils to start the second period, I would assume, as the Flyers need to kill only 6.9. Good save there by Vladar on the delayed call.
It was Michkov on the back check. That slash, that shot. Gitchik is off of Dvorak to the corner, and time runs out. Dvorak stung a little bit, and then a late shot by the Devils. Flyers did not like that as Sanheim went over to let Cotter and others know that that's not proper. Cotter will stir the pot, though.
Yeah, he's a physical player. He's not afraid to mix it up. The Devils don't have a ton of that.
So the first period is over. Devils will start the second period of the power play. 11-9, the shots unofficially in favor of Philadelphia. Sanheim on the board for the Flyers. Rooney for the Devils. It's a 1-1 game through 20 minutes. Today's first period between the Flyers and Devils is brought to you by your Philadelphia area Chevy dealers. Visit Chevrolet.com. Intermission Live is straight ahead. Ashland will sit down with the new Flyers, Trevor Zegras. Bush will talk some Flyers goaltending. That and more after these messages.
NBC 10 News at 11, your reason to stay up. Count on breaking news straight from the NBC 10 Live Center.
Local stories that can't wait until tomorrow. And the most accurate forecast certified by WeatherRate. NBC 10 News at 11, coverage you count on.
This river wasn't dammed in a day. And GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward. Current eligible GMC owners get 0% APR with a total value of over $12,000 on this Sierra 1500 model. That's 20% below MSRP.
There's no place like home. Because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories And we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Visit nopaycarrier.com and get comfortable with no interest financing, plus other money-saving incentives.
The best heart care just got better. Deborah Heart and Lung Center's new Olson Family Patient Care Pavilion is an innovative patient environment with the same extraordinary clinical excellence you expect from Deborah. Home to some of the most respected heart, lung, and vascular specialists in the country. Backed by leading-edge technology and elite care teams. The result? Measurably better outcomes. Because when it's your heart, you don't take chances. Demand Deborah.
Did everything he had to do to win this game.
Championship teams put themselves in a position to always win.
I think as a whole team, I think it's just a matter of taking our discipline to another level.
Eagles Post Game Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance.
Tipping the shot, he scores! Maybe the white tape paid off after all. Oh, and Tippett, shot save, made rebound, break, score! Takes the shot, he scores!
Welcome back, NBC Sports Philadelphia. After one period, we have a tie game here, and I'm here with Jet Luchenko. Jet, working to make this team the final preseason game. What are you trying to show the coaching staff today?
Just kind of trying to play my game and, not worry about much else than that. Kind of come to the rink every day, work hard, and see what happens.
We were just talking to Coach Tocchet on the game broadcast. He said he wanted to see more creativity from you making plays. We just saw that with Travis Sanheim's goal. How are you working on something like that?
I think same thing I kind of said before, just come to the rink every day with a goal to get better and work as hard as I can in practice and off the ice, and I think good things will come from that.
Awesome, Jet. Thank you so much for the time. JJ, send it back up to you.
All right, Ashley, thank you very much. Next time we're with you, it means something in terms of the standings. The Flyers open their season Thursday night down in South Florida against the defending Stanley Cup champion Panthers. Coverage beginning with pregame live with Ashley and her buddies. 6:30 the start time. More after this timeout.
Your local Meineke cares about you and your family. Get ready for warmer weather with a free AC check and $50 off AC repairs. We'll also check tire pressures and brakes too. Over 50 years of service, value, and trust. That's Meineke.
My team at BetParks Online Sportsbook and Casino has a great offer for new users. Download the BetParks app, open a new account, and get up to $50 back on your first sports bet if it doesn't win. Plus, you'll get a BetParks bonus box with 50 BetParks coins and 50 bonus spins on the BetParks Collect 'em online slot game. For details, visit betparks.com.
Oh, great.
It's great. What does great even mean anymore? At NJM, when we say great insurance, it means going above and beyond to take care of you. Great is what made us #1 in the region for customer satisfaction. Because when things go wrong,
great,
we do what's right. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Congratulations on your new Nissan.
Thank you. This deal's for the birds.
You say birds? Let's go! Whoa! Yeah!
What are you doing?
Said to get excited when we sell a new car.
No, our customers will be excited for our new sales event.
Sales event.
You'll get excited over the savings this season at Woodbury Nissan. Choose a new Rogue or new Altima for only $179 a month.
Save all season long with our winning team here at Woodbury Nissan.
Your local Meineke cares about you and your family. Get ready for warmer weather with a free AC check and $50 off AC repairs. We'll also check tire pressures and brakes too. Over 50 years of service, value, and trust. That's Meineke.
Welcome back, NBC Sports Philadelphia. Tie game here after one period of play, and the new guy in the room, Trevor Zegras, bringing a lot of personality to Philadelphia, already giving his new coach some new nicknames, and close friends Cam York and Jamie Drysdale helping a lot with the transition. But really for Trevor Zegras, an opportunity here in Philadelphia to rewrite his career and become the hockey player he always wanted to be.
I feel like I've been here for my whole life, honestly, and it's good that I have a bunch of buddies on the team that have been very helpful in where to go and what time to be at the rink and all that, and it's been fun.
Yes, having Cam here, having Jamie here, I see you guys hang out all the time. You say that makes the process easier. Why does it?
Familiarity for sure. Like, I guess having them help me, I guess, with the rest of the guys has been good. And, it's a really great group, and it's been a lot of fun so far.
And it kind of seems like a Cinderella story for you to come to this with friends that you already know, and this organization on the uphill here, new coaching staff. It's like the perfect time for you to come to something like this.
Yeah, no, it's great. I feel like Fresh Start was something that I was looking for, and I guess it was kind of a perfect match. I think the group's really close, which is always a great starting point. And when you have a group of guys that's so connected like that, I think you want to play for each other and play a little bit harder. So I think that's always a good start.
What about Coach Tocchet, the new guy along with you?
Yeah, he seems awesome. He kind of set a little bit of the expectations for the season. We're all ready to get going.
What expectations for the season? What do you say?
Just all he called them bricks to protect the shield. Whether it's, what did he say? I'm already forgetting, but
the message really stuck.
The message really stuck with me early.
And Danny Briere, we talked to him this week. He's pretty honest that he feels like with you, there's this opinion of what you should be outside the rink, and there's this opinion of what you should make your career. Do you kind of see this as an opportunity to maybe rewrite some of that, of what you do want your career to be here?
Yeah, it's just a fresh start, like kind of be who you want to be. Like you said, like the expectations and pressure and all that, like kind of goes away, and you just try to fit in and be one of the guys, which is pretty cool.
Trevor Zegras there giving us a preview of the saying the Flyers are going with this season, brick by brick, or what Trevor said there, something about a brick. The message definitely stuck with Trevor Zegras. And on the other side here on NBC Sports Philadelphia, JJ and Boosh talking goalie expectations coming up.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks, like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on all Silverado 1500 models.
Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Saquon, do you think you'll win the MVP this year?
I already have my MVP.
But the awards don't get announced until later. Well, what do you mean?
I mean, most valuable policy.
From who, Saquon?
Who do you think? Cure Auto Insurance. Take it from me. They're the cure.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
Watch this. Let's face it. What a time to be making a hockey show.
Nice. Just when I thought last year couldn't be topped.
Let them know what they're in for here.
Here we are.
I'm scared of you guys. I'm scared of you.
What keeps you motivated?
I think winning. I don't really know any different.
MS does suck.
MS mucks with your central nervous system, almost everything about your body.
MS took everything from me.
Always taking away. You never get anything back.
Despite MS, I will keep riding my bike.
I will continue to live the life that my daughter expects me to live.
I won't let MS change who I am inside.
I'm going to keep being me.
If
if you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Tied at 1 after 20 minutes of play at Xfinity Mobile Arena between the Flyers and Devils as we wrap up the preseason here this afternoon. At Bush, we head into game action on Thursday. Can't wait for the season to begin. And, of course, one of the focuses of improvement for the Flyers is goaltending. Last year, a league-low save percentage. Same the year before that. And it's hard to win with those numbers. So they went out and got Dan Vladar to back up or maybe split time with Sam Ersson. Let's talk Sam first. He's shown us in spurts in his career that he can get the job done. He hasn't maybe extended it through a whole year yet. You think he has it in?
Reps to get to that point. There's no doubt that he has the talent, right? I mean, this is a guy that when you watch him in shootouts, he's terrific. It's one of the most difficult parts of being a goaltender is shootouts and being patient. But there seems to be some goals that he gives up at inopportune times. And I think through experiences and maybe system play, that can help him. I feel like when you watch him play, especially last year, when you watch him at the Four Nations, when he played for Sweden in a big setting, I thought he played fantastically. Yes. And I think he's on the cusp of getting to that next level on the other side, which just takes time for young goaltenders. Hopefully this is the year that it happens.
Different guy to work with this year in Daniel Vladar, and you can talk about this as an ex-goaltender. How much does it help to have a partner who you trust? And not that he didn't trust his guys last year, but they obviously struggled. He's got a guy who might be more solid this year.
You know, it's interesting. Goaltending is funny. Guys want the net. They want to play most of the games, but it's a fine line. You also need a guy that can do a job with you, right? Because you're competing for one net, but at the end of the day, with the way the league is today, it's almost impossible to play 65 games by yourself. So if you don't want the pressure of having all that, you're going to need a guy that can win you some hockey games as well. I think for Vladar, he's a little bit older than some prospects like, you know, say Alexei Kolosov. I know Fedotov was a little bit older, but he didn't have the experience that Vladar has. He's been around for a while. He's had the necessary reps he's where he can be at the point where he can be a 1A, 1B. And I think for Sam, it's about managing his starts so that he can give you quality starts. I think Vladar will be that type of guy that can come in, spell him, have a 1-2 tandem that can be solid, give the team a chance to win, and it doesn't often fall on the shoulders of Sam Ersson.
And quickly, they really like each other. You talk to them, they rave about each other. How important is that?
I think that's a bonus. I mean, you don't find that all the time. I mean, sometimes with goaltending partners, you know, you get two alpha dogs. They both want to be in the net. It can be tough at times. I'm not going to lie to you. But then there are times where you just tend to get along with the other person. You want the best for them. You push each other in a real positive way because, as I said, there's only one net. So it's a competitive position. But if you can have a good relationship with your partner, it goes a long way in helping the team.
It'll be very interesting to see how it all plays out as we get the season underway on Thursday night. Back with second period action in just a moment.
I'm Jordan Lundy, and I'm a Philly sports guy. I may have a favorite team, but I'll never tell. We are the city of brotherly love, and at Lundy Law, we have as much love for our teams as we do for the fans. Lundy Law, for the love of the game.
It's tough out there, and it takes hard work to succeed. You know it, we know it. At Bradford White, hard work is in our DNA. That's how we build the best water heaters right here in America. Bradford White, how you heat your water matters.
Get this exceptional offer on select Cadillac models. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
NBC 10 News at 11, your reason to stay up.
For breaking news in the moment, straight from the NBC 10 Live Center. Immediate coverage you count on.
Right now at 11,
we're asking anybody with information.
The family says they've gotten no answers.
With the most accurate forecast for your neighborhood. 10 years in a row, certified by WeatherRate.
And the local stories that can't wait until tomorrow. From the largest news, weather, and sports team in town, NBC 10 News at 11. Coverage you count on.
Who hasn't felt protective lately?
of our families, our communities, our resources. In times like these, we all fight to make sure our people are safe. But when your people, your family, your community is made up of millions of cancer patients and their families, keeping them safe takes everyone's help.
We've always had villains to face.
Bad guys to take down. But you
are the most horrible of all.
We're not here because we have to be.
We are here because we've had enough of you.
Every single one of us is mortal. But inside of us,
we are all heroes.
So stand up with us. Stand up to fight. Stand up to cancer.
Visit standuptocancer.org to learn more.
Today's second period on NBC Sports Philadelphia is presented by Cadillac. Visit your local tri-state Cadillac dealers. 1-1 Flyers Devils at Xfinity Mobile Arena. Flyers make their way back out onto the ice for second period action.
Well, we talked a lot about Cam York in that first period and just where he is in the offensive zone, and just watch some of these clips in the package, him jumping in and the activity that you see in the offensive zone. And there he is, he's in the corner, a nice little heads-up play for a redirect to Zegras, but really like the instinctual play of York offensively so far that in the preseason games I've seen him in. You know, last year he was a bit banged up. He got banged up early on in the season. I don't think he ever really got to where he wanted to in his game offensively, but armed with a new contract, some new confidence, a new coaching staff, and a little bit more maturity, I guess you could say, as you get older in your NHL career, you get experience, and he certainly looks to be having a comfortable camp and was a noticeable player in that first 20 minutes.
You saw Matvei Michkov in the penalty box. That's where he starts the second period. And the Devils with almost a full power play to start this second stanza. They'll send it up the wall. Konecny is kept in by Cotter. Now York, good play there to Sanheim, and he'll send it all the way down.
That's good communication between partners, right? York knows the pressure's coming. Sanheim gives him the out, and they make the play, execute, and get it down 200 feet.
Devils will try to penetrate the zone again. It's into the zone, looking for the return feed. Never did get to him. He does recover the puck, don't get it out to the point. Addison this way, LaChance in front, the tip, and they score. Tic-tac-toe. That certainly looked like NHL players, didn't it? And the payoff goes to Lenny Amanahu, who is another prospect that you may be hearing that name. We have to work on that name because I think we're going to be hearing a lot of it, but he gets the payoff on the power play goal.
Flyers not able to get the clear, and from there the Devils get to work. You see it's kept in, get it to the weak side, and this is a real heads-up play by Shane LaChance. Big guy, he's got good hands, good vision, able to sneak that through Cam York, and Hamanaho is on the back door, able to put it home as Sanheim not able to get back in time.
That's his first goal. Second round pick in 23. 20 goals over in Finland last year. He's impressed the Devils in camp this year. The power play tally.
Number 2, Calen Addison.
The Devils had the lead back. Here's Brink. Back to Drysdale, hammers one in, save made. Rebound all the way around, and Sealer unable to tuck it home. Back out it goes Drysdale across to Brink. Bobby Brink for an open man, drops it back to Drysdale. Flyers responded pretty quickly to the Devils' first goal. They're trying to do it again here with the second. Bacon's shot couldn't get through the traffic in front. Now the shot by Cates, and Allen trying to squeeze that one against his body, and he did.
Pressure by the Flyers after giving up the power play goal. Quickly getting pucks to the net. Veteran Jake Allen able to remain calm and poised on a broken play here. A little deeper in the crease, allows him to see it a little bit longer. And he squeezes that left arm right up against the rib cage. No holes for Jake Allen.
Jake Allen signing that 5-year extension in the offseason. There's a big shot. Oh, that one got the wrong person as Juleson leaned into that shot, and Konecny He's had an adventurous afternoon already. He's been clipped with a stick right there. But in the midsection, I believe. Let's get a look.
Oh. I will say it probably stung him, but there may have been some padding there at the top of the pants. I'm not saying it didn't hurt, but there were probably far worse places he got turned around that it could have hit him. He seems to be shaking it off.
The price you pay when you're into those scoring areas. Yinning flips one wide of the net, recovered by Michkov, trying to turn away from Cotter. And into the quarter. Morak was wrapped up. Michkov in there to free that puck up again. He's scrambling in the corner. Couturier gets it back out. Juleson across. Yinning just swat that one around the kick plate back to Couturier. He tried to get it in front. That's intercepted. And a 4-on-2. Although the Flyers are beginning to get back, and it's a slow rush. And in fact, they go offside. As Tobias Villain carried in.
Oh, get your tickets now for all Flyers home games at Xfinity Mobile Arena. Be here for all the biggest matchups, giveaways, rivalry games, and more this season. Get your tickets at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com.
Flyers will spend much of October on home ice. They start 2 on the road, and then just one more road game, I believe, the entire month after that. So plenty of chance to see the Flyers early in the season. They want to get off to a good start. It's obviously important when it comes to that possible playoff push. Devils into the zone. Addison a shot to the corner. Now Chalowski fires one. That goes wide. Konechny is there, and he headmans to Tippett. Tippett moving up in the left wing. Chalowski gets to him. He drops it back to Zegras. Zegras turns with it to Konechny. Konechny swinging out with it. Konechny holds, fires, and that one gloved by Allen. It was probably going wide. So let's look at that month of October and dissect it a bit. The opener Thursday in Florida, then at Raleigh against the Hurricanes, then back home against Florida for the home opener the 13th. You see, that point on, just that one road game in Ottawa. So some opportunities for some points there for the Flyers if they play well on home ice.
Yeah, a red and orange October.
There you go.
JJ.
Yes, the red October begins tonight.
Yes.
Here is Sealer with a shot, and that went wide of a lot of traffic. I don't believe it hit anything. Trying to free the puck up was Obels. He does. Luchenko, nice pass, but Hathaway could not get his stick on it. Obels tips it. Rysdale does not come in from the point. They lob it over his head. And Naho is up there, but couldn't catch up to it. Flyers back after it in the Devils zone. Strand around behind his net, pursued by Obels the entire way. Strand will move up the right wing and lost the puck. Would have been offside anyhow. Now the Flyers have a 2-on-1 the other way. Hathaway and Obels. Hathaway holds, waits, backhander goes high. Not a lot of momentum for that 2-on-1 as they were going from a stop, and it kind of fell apart. So Hathaway just took the shot. Obels keeps it in, flips one, and that one's knocked down and gotten back by the Devils. Hathaway knocks the puck free there, but jumping on it, firing it into the Flyers zone was Jack Malone. Long stretch pass by Juleson is knocked down by Malone at the red line. Leaned down by Brink. Now Villain will get to Diot. And it goes off the stick of Hartman into the Philadelphia zone. Juleson's back, drops it off for Cates. Ahead for Grabenkin. His pass behind Brink. He tried to stay onside, but the linesman said he did not. So it's time to check in on our countdown to opening night, presented by Fidelity Wealth Management. 5 days. The Flyers start their regular season against the Panthers. Just 5. One hand now. Count the days.
An exciting time of the year. You look forward to training camp. You look forward to the first game of the regular season, and you look forward to the first day of playoffs. Those are the benchmarks for NHL players. An exciting time, and you know, listen, the preseason is one pace of play, but in 5 days it's going to ramp up another couple of notches, and guys like Grabenkin and some of the other guys that are fighting for spots on this team are going to realize that what they thought was high pace during the preseason is not so, as it goes to another level when the season starts on day one.
Especially when you're playing the defending champs.
Yep.
Although the defending champs just hit with all kinds of injury news. They obviously knew they were going to be without Tkachuk. They've lost Barkov. And the other day, Lindell left, and they're worried about him. And he's kind of the guy who would assume a lot of Barkov's duties.
The nickname is Baby Barkov over there. And
so they desperately need him to be healthy.
And I believe Nosek is out as well.
He's out.
So yeah, they've got some issues there in Florida to start the season.
The odd ahead here. Puck set across, bounces back to Glendening. He'll just feather it into the Philadelphia zone and chase. York jabs at it. Couturier does the same, and he got it ahead to Michkov. And for Michkov, left wing feed. Dvorak in. He's turned back there, so just tries to tuck it down low, just out of the reach of Michkov. Chalowski turns it over, though, to Drysdale, who backhands to Couturier for the shot, and it went off a stick wide. Rooney scored the first goal in this game. Addison sent it off Drysdale's stick. Left wing feed, Tippett also can skate back for Drysdale, went on through. Played by Zegras back toward the corner. Tippett behind the net, bending off. Addison got the shot off, save made by Allen.
Great play there by Tippett.
Actually trying to dig that puck off the wall, but he was checked and was cleared by LaChance. Now on center, Zegras, nice touch pass to Konechny. Konechny drops it back, shot. Tippett was muffled, and it just kind of rolls on into Allen, who scoops it up.
Obviously, three talented players with Tippett, Konechny, and Zegras. Like to see them get inside a little bit more in this second period. And one way you can do it is just individually getting it done. Tippett able to shield that puck, finds a way to get it to the net. We've seen it so often in Tippett's time here in Philadelphia. He's not afraid to take on a guy or two to get to those hard areas, and a good opportunity there as he almost surprises Jake Allen.
Interesting to see Zegras talking things over there with Owen Tippett. They try to learn each other's games. Here's a shot by Juleson. That one deflected away to the corner. Yinning in, drops it back Hathaway. He'll shovel one wide of the net. Kuchenko trying to track it down. And a turnover. Here's Obels with a steal. Centers it in front. Hathaway for Obels, but he was checked just as he went to take the shot. Kuchenko, the point, finds Hathaway. Hathaway to Yinning. Down low for Obels. Obels wrapped up a bit there by Strand. They allow that. Obels still recovers the puck. Again trying to recover it. And you can tell this Devils team, heavily underdogs in this game, they're hungry. And they are playing very hard. That puck goes out of play. Let's see if it's a penalty when we come back. I believe it is.
Wawa's newest $6 meal deal is here, and it's so you. The sandwich you crave. The small fountain drink you pour. And the Hers chips you want. All for just $6. Gotta have a Wawa.
With Amica Auto Insurance, it's not just about where you're going, but who you go with. We're customer owned. And we look after what matters most to you. Together. Get your quote today.
Introducing Wawa's new Spicy Jalapeno Ranch. Creamy, craveable, and kicking up the flavor to your favorite hoagies, wraps, sandwiches, and more. It's the bold twist you didn't know you needed, but it's only here for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
NBC 10 News at 11, your reason to stay up.
For breaking news in the moment, straight from the NBC 10 Live Center, immediate coverage you count on.
Right now at 11, we're asking anybody with information.
Says they've got no answers.
With the most accurate forecast for your neighborhood, 10 years in a row, certified by Weather Rate.
And the local stories in town, NBC 10 News at 11. Coverage you count on.
Welcome back, NBC Sports. Philadelphia Flyers down by 1 goal here in the second period, and it was a very big morning for my guy here, Gritty. He hosted his 7th annual 5K, 4,600 racers. Here we go again. I'll get so nervous when you're next to me with food. And the fun fact, hot dogs, he gave out 3,000. And then he gave out 3,000 hot dogs by 9 a.m. very fun fact, 4,600 racers involved, over $1 million raised for the Gritty 5K. Awesome stuff as always. How about you eat the hot dog instead of me? Why do I always have to eat the things you give me? JJ, sending it back to you. Don't do this.
Gritty is always right, Ashlyn. Gritty is always right. What was your time, Ashlyn? Uh-oh, she can't talk.
Television.
All right, we'll check back in and see how she's doing in the meantime. Michkov digging away from this loose puck, brings out the other side, and they score! Travis Konecny on a nice setup by Michkov. Saw one side was blocked, goes to the other side of the net, and the Flyers tie the game at 2.
Oh, Gritty's fired up. Shenanigans
Hopefully
in the corner
Ashlyn survives.
with Ashlyn, yeah. And then the Flyers, quick work on the power play. Michkov able to stay with it. Doesn't succeed on the jam on the short side, so he says, you know what, I'll take it around to the other side, and Konecny able to sneak down, present the stick, and a heads-up play by Michkov, and the put away for the Flyers on the power play. And poor Ashlyn taking a beating down there. What a good sport.
He might have had a cake down there next, you know. Likes to throw those cakes in people's faces, too. So Konecny gets the tally, his second in as many games.
You'd think after running 5K, Gritty would, have a little less energy.
Oh, it's Gritty's 5K race,
he didn't
but he doesn't. All right, we'll try to go across. It does deflect and goes over the glass and out of play. So Travis Konecny on the board. The Flyers are even again.
Christina Ladd posted at McDonald's, thinking about how I never had a snack wrap, and I'm devastated. Imagine tasting the snack wrap for the very first time. In ranch or spicy?
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks. Like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on all Silverado 1500 models.
Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Thanks for walking us through the plan.
You guys heading up north soon?
Yeah, we've got Lizzie for a couple weeks this summer.
Taking her fishing, I hope. That's the plan.
Doors. Connect us to what's important.
Excited, sweetie?
A dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors. Backed by a team of specialists, your advisor helps you build a personalized, tax-smart investment strategy, identifying opportunities across your entire portfolio. And when life surprises you, your plan can change too. Because doors were meant to be opened.
They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, they are correct.
Eat like an early riser with an iced coffee for $1 and pair it with a bagel sandwich.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Travis Konecny's power play goal has tied things up here at 2. Get a good look at the youngster Jet Lachenko, and look at some of the work that he put in earlier in this period. A face-off win. Watch the pressure that eventually he puts on that leads to a turnover right here. Pressure, pressure. That's the speed that leads to a turnover. Responsible, gets back up high, covering a lot of the ice. Just a real solid shift for Lachenko, who is trying to make sure he impresses one more time so he can stick around for the start of the season here in a week's time.
Well, one area of his game that already is elevated and advanced is his hockey IQ, right?
Yeah.
They want him to shoot more. He's heard that already, I'm sure, a lot. But he has so many things, as Rick Tocchet likes to say, to work with. The temptation is to keep him, even though he's only 19 years old.
And the question is, if he's playing fourth line minutes, will he get enough time to really round out his game? Because let's face it, this guy is not a fourth line NHLer in the big picture. And that'll be the... And there could be some injuries that allow him to play up the lineup. You never know. Time will tell, but seems to be having a strong afternoon here today.
Addison back here. With the puck, it'll deflect free, connect the after to the corner. Tried to get it back to Drysdale and did. Drysdale across to Sealer. Center point, Drysdale pressured, stops, change of direction move. They get some oohs and ahs from the crowd. Now Sealer in front. It actually went in on Allen instead. He was trying to score. I thought he was going.
No, I think he was trying to go back door. Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
Allen
He just missed his mark.
Ended up with a shot on goal. Allen took care of it. Here's a cross ice pass to Sanheim in front off a skate. And free for Addison. He gets it out through center to Xavier Perrant. Diminutive forward. We'll play it down low into the Philadelphia zone. And the Flyers unable to clear that zone. Perrant back after it. Will send it around behind the net. York kept it away from a couple of forechecking Devils. Edwards will send it back around the other way. Perrant comes together with York again. And then Dvorak there to help, and his pass ahead. Here's Michkov for the shot, and the save made by Allen. Boy, that's a really good play by Dvorak. You know, these guys, he seems to know where everybody is on the ice at all times. Now Juleson had that shot blocked out high, and Malone through the checking of Michkov. Might have gotten away with one there.
Yeah, I think so.
It's picked up by Malone again, and he'll just dump it into the Philadelphia zone. Time for a change. Both teams making some player changes here. 7:42 to go, period number 2. Getting ahead. Hobbles will pump it into the Devils zone. He pursues. Pops free for Hathaway. Hathaway looking to get that to Luchenko. Luchenko in heavy traffic. Skates it to the corner. Got it back to Hathaway, but he's all tangled up. Luchenko follows in and battles along the wall too. Diaty. Hobbles tried to tie him up, but instead it's cleared up and out by the Devils. Wide of the net though, so icing is the call.
Well, you mentioned the work of Christian Dvorak on the wall. It starts with Cam York. Good hard play with on Perrant. The support by Dvorak, and then a real nifty pass. I mean, to get that through the defender Austin Strand by Dvorak to a streaking Michkov. Those are the plays. If Michkov wants to get going offensively and play fast, he needs to trust that line mates can make that play. Dvorak was able to get it to him, and a real good opportunity for Michkov.
I've liked what I've seen from Dvorak and Michkov out on the ice together. It's a different combination of the other players.
It is, yeah.
Interesting to see how Rick Tocchet's going to play this.
And we talked about the versatility of Dvorak, right?
Yeah.
Whether he can play center down the lineup or wing up the lineup. If he can make plays like that, you can play him up with good players.
You saw the play he made to Sanheim for the goal the other night. He's definitely got skill.
Yeah.
This puck bounces free. York a shot. It drifted perhaps off of a body in front wide. Allen thought it had gone the other side. It had not, but the Devils recovered the puck. Here's Cotter, the former Golden Knight. Slaps that one into the Philadelphia zone. When Denning after it, it bounces out to Bobby Brink. Brink turning with it. It's a streaking Sanheim. Again up on the play. Sanheim drop pass. Grebenkin shot in the save. Made by Allen and up into the safety netting it goes.
Sounded like it went off the shaft of Allen's stick. Download the new Philadelphia Flyers app. The only place to manage your tickets, get the latest news, and take advantage of exclusive special offers. Scan the QR code or search Philadelphia Flyers in the App Store. Sanheim once again up in the play, drop pass, and turn off the shaft of the stick of Jake Allen. Forwards hate this, or shooters hate this, because they think it's cheating. They think they beat you because it got by the blocker, but what they fail to realize is that the stick is part of your equipment, right?
It certainly is. Although not necessarily the part of the stick you're supposed to use for saves, but it doesn't matter.
There is a fair amount of luck in having it hit the shaft, I will admit.
Strand sends this into the Philadelphia zone. The chance on the wall. Wilson was there. It'll bounce free to Yinning. Out of Yinning off of the left side. Zegras. Oh, they say it's offside as he hesitated just as he got to the line. Less than 6 minutes to play. Period number 2.
For over 50 years, families have trusted Meineke to keep their cars safe, reliable, and road ready. For brakes, tires, exhaust, tune-ups, and check engine lights, it's Meineke. Same-day service and flexible finance options. Meineke, doing car care right.
Dear Savvy, who says you can't have it all? You've got the tech. You've got the drive. you've got Toyota value.
Get great leases on the Toyota Corolla family, like the sedan, hatchback, hybrid, cross, and cross hybrid. Shop online and visit your nearest tri-state Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
At Pella, we believe expertise matters. Did you know that when you replace your windows and doors, there are different installation options? Every home is unique. That's why we offer methods like pocket and full frame replacement. When we inspect the windows and doors you're replacing, we'll assess which installation option is best for you and your home. Plus, our work is backed by some of the best warranties in the business.
Right now, get 40% off your installation or 0% APR for 24 months. 855-77-PELLA, PellaPhilly.com.
For over 50 years, families have trusted Meineke to keep their cars safe, reliable, and road ready. For brakes, tires, exhaust, tune-ups, and check engine lights, it's Meineke. Same-day service and flexible finance options. Meineke, doing car care right.
2-2 here in the second period. Yeah, Phil's jerseys can be seen. Probably doubleheader action for those people as Phillies Red October is back. Watch Phillies pregame live tonight at 5:30. Postgame live after the final out of Game 1 of the divisional series between the Phillies and Dodgers. That's all on NBC Sports Philadelphia and streaming on the NBC Sports app.
Fired up for that one, I can tell you that.
Brings me back to the days when I worked for both teams and I do the doubleheader. Hockey game
and right
afternoon.
There. Yeah.
In fact, there was a Devils game before a World Series game one time. It was working out perfectly, and then some genius threw a smoke bomb on the ice, delayed everything, caused a security issue outside. I ended up having to walk over instead of using a golf cart to Steve Coates in the range for me. I got drenched.
Is that right? Oh my God.
All the best laid plans of mice and men, right? But this will be fun.
Yes.
Dodgers, Phillies, great pitching.
I'll lean on your baseball expertise, seeing that you worked in it before. The time off, the week off, does that favor the hitters? I mean, because the bats did cool off last year for the Phillies, right?
I don't think it favors the pitchers, I think.
Favors the pitchers, yeah.
Although pitchers also, starters can get out of a rhythm too.
Yeah.
So that is interesting. Hopefully it's not having Sanchez been so good at home this year. I think he'll be fine. But the Dodgers obviously really rolled through the preliminary round, so they're going to be a challenge.
Well,
odds makers. Phillies were the favorites to win the World Series at the start of the playoffs. Dodgers win their series. Now the Dodgers are the favorites. So we'll see.
Yeah, we shall see how it plays out. Well, good luck to the Phils.
Yes. Thompson. Big hockey fan.
Yeah.
Here is Drysdale across. Sealer back to Drysdale. Konechny taken into the boards by Addison. And now 4 players. It comes free to Tippett. He's going to roll it up the kick plate. Back out to Sanheim. Or Tippett again. Zegras. Zegras. Fake the drop pass. Then send it in front to Sanheim. And it did not go off the post. And then a defenseman, Addison, was there as well. What a setup by Zegras. Everything but the finish. York back.
Again, defense active right down low. Sanheim presenting himself in a beautiful pass by Zegras.
Now Michkov fanned on his first try, and then Olofsky took it away. As the Devils move up, there's Jonathan Gruden. Pass cutting up the middle. Backhanders deflected. As down to the ice went Diot. The defenseman up on the play. Good defensive play made there by the Flyers.
Yeah, I feel like it was a combination between Sanheim and York on that defensive play, but at the other end of the ice, offensively, Sanheim able to sneak in the back door. Again, a lot of movement by the defense, and Zegras looked like he was going to drop it to Konechny. The old fake drop pass, and then the forehand pass cross seam to Sanheim, and 2 saves by Jake Allen. And this is the chance at the other end. Both Sanheim and York are there, but it's York who gets a stick on it. Get it out of harm's way.
But that fake drop pass by Zegras, it was like in football when the camera goes to the fake to the fullback.
Yeah.
I was with the drop pass. And all of a sudden it's coming across to Sanheim. Oh, down awkwardly when a Devil, and up goes the arm. You can hear the Devils bench, and they're not happy. And they're going after the Flyer over along the far side. It was Aminaho who went down. He's back up and right in the scrum. And the Devils did not like that hit at all.
Yeah, it certainly didn't look good, right?
Bobby Brink.
Yeah, it looked like Brink kind of like, I don't know if it's his leg that kicks out or his hip. I'm not sure, but it looked like the Devils player was going to get around him, and Brink at the last second kind of shimmied to his left and clips him.
Philadelphia number 10, 2 minutes, tripping.
Yeah, I mean, on that replay, you could see that Brink, his skate positioning is in a 10-2 position, so he's kind of angling that way, but I thought initially it looked like he did kind of get the leg out there, but you see Rooney getting in there, and everybody jumped in, all 5 players on both sides stepping in to help out. You like seeing that if you're a coach and teammate, that everybody gets in there.
Bobby Brink did take some shots there. Dion in particular got some in.
Penalty number 10, Bobby Brink.
As we enter the Toyota RAV, 4 minutes to play of this second period. The Devils on their second power play. They scored with their first one. And a tic-tac goal play. Addison dropping it back. They'll move in. Cotter had to go off his stick. LaChance will further it. And it's jammed free behind the net. LaChance reaching for it. Got it to Cotter. Cotter checked. LaChance again around the other way. Grichuk is over there. He fans on it, and then he trips Dvorak. Penalty. That'll take care of the Devils power play. Christian Dvorak. Well, now Hathaway has a word for Grichuk on his way to the box. Getting some animosity now starting to feel a little more like the regular season.
New Jersey number 81, 2 minutes, tripping.
Arsenij Grichuk, a guy that came over from the KHL, a guy they're hoping can supply some surprise offense for them there. He fans on the initial pass across and then has to trip up Dvorak to negate a potential shorthanded 2-on-1 opportunity.
Bill City is an intriguing player, 24 years of age. 44 points in 49 games in the KHL last year. And he already has 4 this year in the preseason here for the Devils. All right, 4-on-4 hockey for the moment. Sanheim once again looking to attack. Strand turns him back. Couturier wrapped up by Edwards. Konechny trying to keep that puck alive, but Strand bodies him off, and now Cotter will play it back around. Well, it took a strange hop to Konechny. Cotter is trying to get that back around behind his own net. Out to center ice anyhow. No harm done for the Devils. Flyers will go to the power play in 52 seconds. Michkov trying to make a move at the line, lost the puck, and then gets beat. And so the Devils move back through center, but LaChance's pass just drifts to the wall. York will stab it through to Drysdale. And now Michkov. 2:38 to go in the period. Flyers to the power play in half a minute. Zegras weaves his way in. Flyers are changing. It's a slow change now. Zegras will drop it back to Michkov. Zegras out near the line. Michkov continue to play catch, and they find Sealer. Flyers waiting until they get the power play here. Zegras drops to Michkov. Back to Zegras. Zegras waits, turns back with it in 3 seconds. They'll get the extra man. It'll be about 32 seconds of power play time. Here's Michkov, forced. Puck picked up by Sanheim. Power play for the Flyers. Zegras trying to get it in front to Sealer, but it was blocked. Chalowski checked by Brink. Brink out of the box into the fray, but LaChance is there to move it ahead to Rooney. And the Devils will move it up. He's going to take as long as he can here. Skates wide with it. All the way around behind, pursued by Drysdale. But good work by Rooney there to basically take care of what was left of the Flyer power play. Just 5 seconds left on it. Zegras will feather that one through. York to tip it. We'll just send it in, and back to full strength go the Devils. The Flyers officially now 1 for 3 on the power play. 80 seconds to go in the period. Flyers start up. Pass from Gulbenkian for Tippett. He is met, but Gulbenkian carries on. Shows that strength. Good turn there, too. It turns again. Got that puck to Tippett. He turns away from that. That's sent it for the shot. And that one did not go as Cates fired away. It's cleared up and out by Glendening. Yinning ahead for Cates. We'll just swat that one deep into the Devils' zone. Flyers with a heavy shot advantage here. 10-4 in the second period. Good hit by Grabenkin. As Glendening sends the puck into the Philadelphia zone. Lutsenko avoids one check and another. And then tries to turn the speed on. He flipped the pass, but unable to find it was Abels. And now the Flyers in. They say it's onside York. To Hathaway. 25 seconds in the period. Abels, quick pass for Lutsenko. He's in heavy traffic. It bounces off of him back to Sanheim, across to York. York plays it in along the wall. Big hit on Abels. Lutsenko from the angle tried to center it, deflects back. York hustles back to get to it. Kept it in the zone. Now it's cleared up and out by the Devils. No icing here. So York will go back as time winds down and then eventually out on the second period. So each team with a goal in the first, each team with a goal here in the second. And we are tied at 2. Travis Konecny getting the goal for the Flyers here in the second. 2-2 game after 40 minutes. Today's second period between the Flyers and Devils was brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play to win with the PA Lottery. Visit PALottery.com or download the app today. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians. Here's what's coming up. Ashlyn will sit down with Sam Harrison, who will definitely treat her better than Gritty did. No doubt about that. We'll go around the NHL as well, Bush and I. Lots coming up. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment.
Get this exceptional offer on select Cadillac models. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward. Current eligible GMC owners get 0% APR with a total value of over $12,000 on this Sierra 1500 model. That's 20% below MSRP.
Red 19! Red 19!
Red 19.
Boom! DraftKings Casinos combining two things I love. Touchdowns and bonus rounds. We're going deep with 1,000 slots and counting. We're talking spin moves everywhere. Jackpot, baby!
New players play $5 and get 500 total spins on Huff and More Puff, plus a first day replay up to 1,000 in credits. DraftKings Casino, the crown is yours.
Gus, go long.
Whoa. Touchdown!
Let's bring that energy into the stadium.
You have the tickets, right?
Sure do.
Extreme Green from the PA Lottery.
With top prizes of 500 grand.
Now that's a real game changer.
Win or lose, it's all for the love of the game.
Burgers up.
Keep on scratching.
I haven't called their work ethic, their heart, their standard of play into question, not for a second.
Have that innate ability to make plays under pressure. It's the 4th youngest team in the NHL.
What a play here by Noah Case. Spins, backhand, he scores! My goodness!
Form the spine. They're young centermen. They've got young wingers. Their defense has a couple of really young players.
We are back here on NBC Sports Philadelphia. Tie game 2-2. I'm here with Travis Konecny scoring a power play goal. That's 5 power play goals in the preseason. What's the biggest adjustment so far this season? Why is this clicking?
Just a new look, more attack mentality, kind of. We're learning our spots and where to go in situations and being easy to read off and predictable. And I don't know. It's just fresh start, new look at things, and it's clicking right now.
It definitely is. And last time we spoke, you said you were optimistic about the way camp was going, about preseason. How are you feeling this last game going into the regular season?
Still a lot to clean up, and I think, your goal is to get into the first game and obviously be ready to go, but there's going to be things to clean up in the first 5-10 games as well. We just got to stay on top of it and keep building. It starts with this game and head into the third here.
Awesome. TK, thanks for the time. JJ, send it back up to you.
All right, Ashlyn, thank you very much, and hoping to have it all cleaned up as they get things started. That is Thursday in South Florida against the Panthers. Our coverage begins with Flyers pregame live at 6:30. Ashlyn, Artsy, Al, getting ready for face-off just after 7 o'clock. We'll have more after this.
All the weapons are at Jalen Hurts' disposal. They're going to see how good Jalen is. He'll make the throws he has to when it's time to make them.
Eagles pregame live before every game, presented by Toyota, proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles and official automotive partner of the NFL.
Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be seeing this. Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be seeing this. Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be using this. Particle 6-in-1 Face Cream for Men, the first of its kind anti-aging cream designed specifically for men. Fights eye bags, dark spots, and wrinkles. Visit ParticleMen.com and use the promo code on your screen to receive 25% off your entire order. Plus, we've got free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. www.ParticleMen.com. Because seeing is believing.
The biggest names in Philly sports and beyond. Talk to one man. Listen and subscribe to the Take Off with John Clark podcast on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Presented by Ben Salem's own Makefield Putters. A putter for every player.
Watch this.
Let's face it. What a time to be making a hockey show.
Just when I thought last year couldn't be topped.
Let's know what they're in for here.
Here we are.
I'm scared of you guys. I'm scared of you.
What keeps you motivated?
I think winning. I don't really know any different.
Welcome back. A beautiful day in Philadelphia as we have a tie game here going into the third period, and someone we're not seeing this afternoon, goaltender Sam Ersson, working to prove he is truly that #1 goaltender here for the Flyers, saying he wants to play 65 games plus this season, working to get more comfortable and proving to everyone he's got what it takes.
I want to play a lot. I think that's the role I want to have, and I think that's the type of player I want to be. So I'm getting more mature. I'm getting a little bit older. You know, got another year in the league, so I think I've grown a lot with that, and I take the challenge here head on, and it's been great now with Dan getting here. Great guy, and I think obviously he wants to play too. So that's competition is what you need to get better, and I think we're going to push each other and help the team.
Danny Briere has been really honest when they brought in Dan, who we just got the chance to speak to. Very upfront, he is here to help you, to have that cushion where if you cannot play, you have the confidence, this guy's got my back. How much is that going to help you?
I think a lot, but again, I think Dan is not going in with that mentality either. He's going to want to play as many games as he can. It's the same for me, and I think that's being in the best league in the world. You know, competition is what you want and it's what you need.
Right. You want to keep the team first mentality. But that is such an interesting dynamic to me. You guys spend so much time together with your goaltending coach. You're always together, but knowing you both want the game to start. Do you talk about it, or is it just like this known thing?
I think it's known pretty much. Like it's we're kind of like the team within the team. Like me, Dan, and goalie coach, and like the goalies together. We understand each other the best. You need to have a great relationship. It's so important.
I was looking. I didn't even realize a contract year for you. We get the business side of this.
Yeah.
Do you go with the motivation that this could be a big year off the ice for you as well?
Every year is a big year, but yeah, obviously, for me, I think I do feel like it's it's time for me to kind of prove what I can do, and I like a good challenge, so that's kind of how I go into this year with that mentality.
You say prove what you can do. What do you want to do?
Win hockey games, and lots of them.
Pretty easy goal there from Sam Ersson. A really interesting dynamic when you talk about Dan Vladar coming in here. He told us on Media Day he's not coming in here with the mindset that he wants to stay the backup goaltender. There is going to be competition in that room, and we'll see how it plays out this season. On the other side here on NBC Sports Philadelphia, you have JJ and Boosh talking about NHL storylines going forward. Stay with us.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks, like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on all Silverado 1500 models.
Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Thanks for walking us through the plan.
Have fun with Lizzie this summer.
Doors connect us to what's important. A dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll help you build a personalized investment strategy. Doors were meant to be opened.
This could be another Super Bowl year, simply because who are you going to stop?
He's doing things that general managers around the league should be doing, but they're not because they're worried about saving their jobs.
Birds Huddle, presented by Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL.
The simple pleasure of a piece of chocolate, the healthy goodness of fresh fruit, and so much more. They're all connected by the Port of Philadelphia. At Philiport, thousands of men and women move millions of tons of products, adding billions of dollars to the local economy every year. From the time your day starts to the moment it ends, we connect you with the things that make every day happen. We're one of the nation's largest ports. We're your neighbors, and we make your day better.
To take it all in. To leave it all behind. To see it for ourselves. To still not believe our eyes. To scream with joy. To be left speechless. To reflect. To reconnect. To pass it on. No matter why we're here, we've come to the right place.
We have the world at our fingertips, inspiration in our touch, and power in our hands. Our hands can build relationships, frame ideas, and empower communities. And it doesn't stop there. Right here, in our hands, we have the power to save a life. If you see a teen or adult suddenly collapse, call 911 and push hard and fast in the center of the chest.
The power is in your hands.
2-2 hockey game after 2 periods of play. Just one more regulation period of preseason hockey before the season gets underway on Thursday as we welcome you back inside the booth. And Bush, the one thing you want to do in preseason, I mean, there's so many things, organize, get some chemistry going, but the most important thing is stay healthy.
Yeah.
And the Florida Panthers did not succeed in that way at all. Their best player, maybe one of the best all-around players in the NHL, Sasha Barkov, out most likely for the whole season, 7 to 9 months. Maybe he could make it back deep in the playoffs, but this is about as bad an injury as you can get.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to repeat. It's tough to go back to back to back, and then when your best player, your best all-around player is out, this is going to be a huge hole for the Panthers, and we'll see how they rectify that internally. Anton Lundell would be a guy that's going to slot up to fill his spot, but there's no doubt that is a huge hole for the Panthers. And in addition to that, Matthew Tkachuk is out for the start of the season as well. That seems to be a little bit longer term as well, from what I understand. So they're gonna have to rely on maybe some younger guys call-ups to help out. The veteran experience guys like Brad Marchand, who re-signed there, Sam Reinhart, Sam Bennett, they're all going to have to step up, but no question you wonder how much gas is in the tank to start the season for the Panthers.
So let's look at some of the teams as we get ready for the season to begin. Everyone making their predictions, which we'll probably try to forget by the end of the year.
Yeah.
But these were the point leaders at the end of the regular season last year. Winnipeg won the President's Trophy. By the way, Flyers play them early in the season. And they have Jonathan Toews now, although he has already experienced some kind of either illness or injury. But Washington, a big surprise last year. Which of these teams do you feel will stay up near the top and maybe pick out a couple that you think might drop out?
I really like Vegas. The addition of Mitch Marner, I feel like that team already was very deep. I love Vegas. I'm not so high on the Capitals. I think what they did last year was it was a magical year for them, obviously with the OV chase. I don't see it. I mean, they could prove me wrong. I don't know that their goaltending is all that high level, but you never know. I think Winnipeg's a team, they're solid. They'll be there once again. But Colorado's a team to me in the West. When you think about the West, it's so deep, so difficult. Colorado has to be a team that gets further than the first round. I mean, they're just so talented. Mackenzie Blackwood is injured to start the year, but I suspect that Colorado is going to have a lot more to say in the West this year than they have in prior years. And Edmonton has been to the finals in back-to-back years, but and you can look at it both ways. Edmonton was a chip away by Quentin Byfield from them being eliminated. Exactly. And then they make it to the finals. And so everybody seems to think Edmonton's going to be there once again. And I say hold your horses on that one. I mean, the West is so hard. And I think Vegas and Colorado, to me, are two teams that are going to have much more say this year.
We didn't even talk about teams that might jump up from the middle or below that, up into that group that we just looked at. There will be 1 or 2 of those as well. Flyers hoping to make a jump this season. We can tell you we'll have third period action when we come back.
Get this exceptional offer on select Cadillac models. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
Great.
It's great.
What does great even mean anymore?
Great?
At NJM, when we say great insurance, it means going above and beyond to take care of you. Great is why 95% of policyholders renew every year.
Great.
Because when things go wrong, we do what's right. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
The GolfNow app is the fastest, easiest way to go play. With the app, you can instantly book tee times 24/7 at over 9,000 great courses. And with an easy-to-use search and detailed information about each course, you'll find the right place to play and the right tee time every time. Then, check in from your phone and head straight to the first tee. It's the one golf app that does it all. Download the free app and book your round today. Golf now. Go play.
NBC 10 News at 11, your reason to stay up.
For breaking news in the moment, straight from the NBC 10 Live Center, immediate coverage you count on.
Right now at 11, we're asking anybody with information.
County says they've gotten no answers.
With the most accurate forecast for your neighborhood, 10 years in a row, certified by WeatherRate.
And the local stories that can't wait until tomorrow. From the largest news, weather, and sports team in town, NBC 10 News at 11. Coverage you count on.
Today's third period on NBC Sports Philadelphia is presented by GMC. Visit your local tri-state GMC dealers. Teams back out on the ice surface for third period action. Deuces are wild through 2. Flyers trying to get a win in their final tune-up for the regular season.
Take a look at our Toyota Camry turning point in this game this afternoon. Power play for the Flyers. Get to work real quick. Michkov denied on the short side jam, so brings it around to the other side where Konechny snuck down and gets his second goal of the preseason.
Interesting comments from TK to Ashlyn Bush. You could tell he realizes the team has a ways to go, a lot to clean up yet. The veterans, they'll note that. Even these are preseason games, you could tell. And again, it's a new system, new coach. That doesn't happen overnight.
Takes time, but you know the maturity of older players recognizing it, right? Yeah. Knowing if they can crank it up a little bit, lead by example, and everybody follows from behind.
Cam York gets the puck to TK, and he will scoop it into the New Jersey zone. Cholowski, the nice feed across there to Gritsuk, who will move in. Play it across for Cotter. Cotter's shot. That one off of Vladar, the side of the net, but it stayed out, and now it's Konechny right up the right wing. Middle, Zegras back to Konechny. Back through looking for Tippett, but it was broken up. And Gritsuk has it again. This pass tip, they say it's onside. Cotter got it to the slot. Sanheim knocked that down. Then from the angle, a shot. Save made. Rebound shot. Vladar ready for that one as well from Gritsuk. Vladar looks solid. He might have faced another one here. Cotter moving in, and that one swatted away as he tried to make one more deke in front. York takes the hit from Rooney as Tippett ices it. Unless it runs out of steam, and it does.
The calmness of Vladar, right? We talked about his size, and he uses his size to his advantage. He's very patient, even though he may be deep at times. He has the ability to do that because he's a bigger guy, and I think he's had a solid afternoon here so far through 40 minutes.
Devils coming out with a very aggressive forecheck here to start this third period. I want to spend some more time down here as Edwards bumped by Dvorak. Couturier to the puck. He's taken to the wall by Rooney. Dvorak follows up. Gets the puck to Michkov. Out to Sealer and across for Drysdale. He'll wrist one, and that one went wide. He was looking for a redirection. Michkov to Couturier. Couturier bumped by Rooney. Dvorak comes in. Michkov there as well. The puck hops free and is swept down the ice. Haminahu, and that will be icing. Let's go stargazing. Good to see of GMC. And always fun to take a look at Matvei Michkov's day or night. Day in this case. Assist, couple shots, a hit, 2 penalty minutes, and we noticed Bush 2 or 3 times. Diligent back checking by him.
Yeah, so conscientious, right? Trying to help out defensively, and you couldn't see it, but as he was heading back to the bench, he gave his shoulder to Haminaho as he's skating off the ice, so he certainly got that fire in his belly that we saw a lot last year.
Yeah, he definitely has that. I think will help him in his second year. Sometimes there's that drop off from second year players, but he really does have that burning desire to be not just good, but to be great. This puck off of Cates through center. Made by Villain. He drops it back. The out ahead. Off the stick. Hardman. York had Manning to Obels. Rodrigo Obels for Hathaway. Villain had him all wrapped up. The puck back behind the net. Obels, good support. Will bank it back out. Sanheim across to York. York, a little wrister, goes wide. Obels tracks down the Karam. Takes it one way, then turns and flings it in front to Hathaway, but he couldn't get a shot on goal. York keeps the puck in again. Puck ends up along the left wing wall, though, and is gobbled up by Diot. Kyle Diot sends that in. And Vladar will get to York. York will have to absorb another hit as he was bumped there, but protected the puck enough so that Obels could clear the zone. Good with that hit. And now Cholowski will move in for a shot that goes just wide all the way up the wall. Obels will deflect it out to center ice. Cholowski's there. Gruden ahead. Cholowski at the Philadelphia line. Bodied, carries on. Ligari with a shot at that one. Basically shouldered away by Vladar at the side of the net. Zegras will clear the zone. And both teams will change here as we approach the 4-minute mark of this third period. Cholowski to Addison. Turns it over to Michkov. Michkov centers. Tippett, the shot. Save made by Allen. Rebound save. Taken behind the net by Zegras, but he is stripped there by Glendening, who will chip it out to the neutral zone. Drysdale is there. Tried to hit Michkov with that pass. Misfired, so it'll become icing. Not a bad try there, though, by Drysdale.
Experience Flyers hockey like never before with club seats at Xfinity Mobile Arena. Enjoy the best sight lines, in-seat food and beverage service, access to exclusive events, and more. Text CLUB to 61259 to elevate your game. Turnover by Kalen Addison leads to this opportunity for the Flyers. Tippett, the chance in the slot, and it's Allen with the answer.
As Rick Tocchet has put this line back together with Zegras, Tippett, and Michkov. Zegras out to get that puck there. He'll flutter it. It's batted with a high stick by Glendening. Flyers play the puck, no whistle. Michkov hit across the line. Edwards, not to him. Michkov still after that puck and nearly got it through. He's hoping for a forward cutting to that. Flyers were changing. And now here is Dvorak trying to keep that puck free, but it's taken instead by Gritsuk. Nice moves in across the line. The shot fended off by Vladar and then sent around. It was knocked down by the Flyers. And here's Dvorak. Lots of room to work with. Dvorak hit across the line. Drop past Couturier. Couturier waits, fires, and the save made by Allen. Couturier back after the puck. Gets it back out to the point. Juleson across Yinning. Yinning diagonally in. Michkov has it. Shifts with the puck. Gets knocked down from his knees. Played it momentarily. It gets poked out to center, though, and the Devils have it. Here's Rooney. Kevin Rooney up with it for the shot. Again, knocked aside by Vladar. And Juleson to it. Cates plays it right back to him. And he misses Yinning with that pass, and that's going to allow a chance and opportunity. He has to do with a couple of Flyers. Cates getting it to Brink. And now Brink head to Cates. Gurbankin with him on the rush. Gurbankin trying to get to this puck. Does. Gurbankin powers his way and all the way around behind. Centers it in front. Brink, and it goes away. Then Gurbankin for the angle, denied by Allen. Bobby Brink back out to York. There's a lot to like about Nikita Gurbankin's game.
Absolutely. And he made a move around that defender to create the opportunity. I love the way he protects pucks down low. He's sturdy down there, and he can create plays. I mean, I know you talked about in the last broadcast, the knock on him is his skating, and maybe it's a 200-foot skating. Look at this little move. I mean, he just manhandles Villain to create the opportunity.
I've seen enough of his skating to say that's a false knock.
Well, I mean, listen, maybe it's that 200-foot up and down. Okay, yeah. Maybe, but in tight areas, he seems certainly NHL worthy as far as his skating, and plus his strength down low. Yes, I like.
Yes. And certainly he has a nose for the net. He does not shy away from the dirty areas. Hobble's looking for that puck from Hathaway. Instead, it goes through and is played by Tobias Villain. The puck poked back deep into the Philadelphia zone.
I think the question for Gurbankin is going to be consistency. Can he do it night after night, and not just preseason? You're excited in the preseason. You got to carry it over. But yeah, certainly a very positive camp for Gurbankin with what we've seen in the offensive zone from him.
Well, there was a spot to be had, and he grabbed it. I mean, that was not by default in any stretch of your imagination. He earned the spot. If he gets it, looks like he has. There's Drysdale ahead. That went off Konechny. Tippett could not get there quite in time. Drysdale back across for Konechny. He's going to drop it back to Nick Seeler. Sealer's pass deflects a couple times. Tippett's got it. Off of the right side. Zegras trying to center for Konechny, but it was blocked off. It was all wrapped up there with Gruden. And now the puck moved that. They got on the bench. Very interesting when we wake up Thursday, or maybe not when we wake up, maybe when we see the pregame skate to see the lines that the Flyers will employ. Rick Tocchet has gotten a look at a lot of different combinations. Here's York. The shot, save made by Allen. Couturier trying to supply a screen. Dvorak gets it back out, Michkov. And now Dvorak with some room again. Lays it off for York. York, the shot. Save made, rebound. York pounds at it at the side of the net, but it was denied by Allen, and now back the other way. Legarrier with some speed to the line. He slows down and then centers, and the save by Vladar off of Cotter. That was a good stop by the Flyer goaltender. It looked like everything was covered, but Cotter was able to get his stick on it and get plenty out.
Yeah, a good read and a timely save for Vladar.
Here's Rooney in on the right side, back out. Diot. He floats one, has batted down in front. Don't think it got all the way to Vladar. Yinning. And into by Rooney. Juleson turned it over, though. And the pass across broken up. Dillon has it again. Turnaround shot. That was blocked in front. Juleson takes the hit along the corner boards. Cates tipped Gurbankin ahead for Brink. And the Devils are checking ferociously. can understand why a guy like Rooney is. He's trying to get himself a spot, and he's played really hard in this game. But a lot of the youngsters, too, have played a lot of energy for this Devils team. There's Yinning. Ahead to Cates. Cates off for Grabenkin. He's by himself here. Dips the shoulder, goes around behind the net, now waits for some help off the bench. Luchenko directs it back to Drysdale. Down low it goes, dropped off for Luchenko by Hathaway, and then Luchenko will get to Grabenkin. Goes across ice, Drysdale, a shot, save made Allen. Luchenko turns with it, back out. The pass comes down low, here's Drysdale, deep, the shot, stopped by Allen. The attempt to get it back out in front is blocked. Drysdale's on it again. And Hathaway gives him some help. One hands it. Grabenkin trying to battle the bouncing puck, and the Devils checking. And it's LeChance who finally gets the puck and hoists it out. And Sealer has to race back to beat Xavier Perrant to it. Drysdale to Hathaway, and now Sealer, and they'll wind it in as we hit the midpoint of this third period. Still tied at 2. Flyers now trying to get ferocious on the check, but Abel's attempt to get that puck deep is intercepted. Legaye moves up with it. They just finesse it toward the corner. Wraps up York on the way in. The puck squirts free. And Ryan will get it out in front. It's blocked. Konechny reaching for it, but Strand gets there instead. Austin Strand holding on. Gets the puck down low, takes it back, and then fires. And the save made by Vladar through lots of traffic in front. 2-2 remains the score.
47, blue, ultimate, push.
Hey, what are you doing?
Said we can do the tush push.
No, to push our sales event.
Push our sales event. You are killing me, Ed.
It's the push to savings this season at Mount Holly Nissan. Choose from their great selection of new and pre-owned Nissans. Look like a champion in a new Rogue or Ultima. The choice is yours for only $179 a month.
Hurry into Mount Holly Nissan before these deals get banned. Go Birds!
My team at BetParks Online Sportsbook and Casino has a great offer for new users. Download the BetParks app, open a new account, and get up to $50 back on your first sports bet if it doesn't win. Plus, you'll get a BetParks bonus box with 50 BetParks coins and 50 bonus spins on the BetParks Collect 'em online slot game. For details, visit betparks.com.
Eagles fans, we know your passion doesn't stop after Sunday, and neither does your coverage.
That's why NBC 10 and NBC Sports Philadelphia bring you the Birds every day.
Go Birds!
With the most accurate weather forecast for your neighborhood.
And breaking news faster than anyone else, straight from the NBC 10 Live Center, in English and Spanish.
NBC 10, Telemundo 62, and NBC Sports Philadelphia, Philly's largest news, weather, and sports team, and the official television station of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Welcome back. A tie game here in the third period, getting ready for the regular season. Had the chance to sit down with Coach Tocchet, and I think after this clip, you all will realize that Rick Tocchet might have a future in acting.
This is really acting. And cut.
Take one.
Take one.
Hello,
Hi, Coach.
And you can catch that full conversation. The first Flyers pregame live of the season this Thursday. Looking forward to it, guys.
Ashley, you can't wait to see Hartsey and Al, right?
It's my guys. We're all back together. The gang's back.
That means they count. That means the games count when Hartsey and Al are.
That's right.
Yes. Ashlyn, you know, she has to work the preseason like us, but those guys, only the games that count. But looking forward to having everybody involved on Thursday. Flyers trying to wrap up the preseason with a win here. There's a shot from the point by Strand that was batted away by Vladar, who's been good in this game. He's made 19 saves. York off the stick of Dvorak and in. Couturier in the forecheck, wrapped up Edwards. The puck squirts free, but the Devils jump on it. Amanaho ahead. LeChance trying to center, but Sanheim had that covered as Rooney was going to the net. Gotten back by LeChance, centered it in front. It sits there. Diving play by York to move it ahead to Dvorak. They'll get it to center and then to Couturier, who will hammer it in, and the Flyers will change. Devils changing as well. Cholowski starts him up to Glendening. And he'll send it in. Vladar is out of his net. That almost ended up in front. It does, and they score. Cotter takes advantage of the breakdown, and the Devils take a 3-2 lead.
Well, it looked like Vladar was going to hand the puck off to Sealer. I'm not sure why that didn't happen, but certainly a miscommunication. Maybe it hopped over the stick of Vladar. You know, if he just kind of inches it, see if it hops over. Oh, he just missed it. He took his eye off it and he missed it. And that was the problem. So if he, you know, he just gets his stick on the puck, he can kind of push it towards the back of the net. He missed it, took his eye off it, and then the puck was in harm's way, and an unfortunate break for Vladar.
So the Flyers trail for a third time in this game. They've been able to tie it up twice. Can they do it again? Drysdale to brink and in. Cates to the puck. Cates for Gravenkin. Gravenkin checked by Glendening. That's the reason why the Devils like Glendening. Very good defensive forward. This puck set into the Philadelphia zone. Cotter picks up his third of the preseason. He's been arguably the best Devils player of the preseason. They've been very happy with his play. He'll probably be on the fourth line for the team when the games count, but he'll play a role for sure. Itchuk will get the only assist. So 3-2 Devils, 7.5 to play. Now the pass tipped away. Zegras got it back to Juleson, but then it's swept away from Konechny, and Juleson has to go back and get it. Yinning. Yinning looks up ice, not much there. He'll play it back to the left wing for Tippett. Back across in the skates of Zegras. And Gruden will move it in for the Devils. Yinning ties up Molosky. Tippett to the puck, up the wall, a chance waiting for it. Back down low off of Tippett to Juleson, and now Yinning. Adam Yinning gets the red line and winds it in. Hathaway could not knock it down. Rooney ahead. And now moves it to the middle, but the Flyers get in the way of that. York to Sanheim. Travis Sanheim, 3 goals in the preseason, including 1 today. Pops it into the Devils zone. Edwards is back. Strand to swing at it. York pinches. But the puck bounces free. Pass LaChance to Edwards. Defenseman up on the play. He'll just snap one in, but bats that one out in front, but it's right to Ovals. We'll get it to York. Cam York and Travis Sanheim are going to need a lot of ice time. They have in this game, and they will when the games count too. Sanheim a weak shot there. Allen decides to melt it down. 6:03 left here in the third.
Christina Ladd posted at McDonald's, thinking about how I never had a snack wrap, and I'm devastated. Imagine tasting the snack wrap for the very first time. In ranch or spicy?
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward. Current eligible GMC owners get 0% APR with a total value of over $12,000 on this Sierra 1500 model. That's 20% below MSRP.
Saquon, do you think you'll win the MVP this year? I already have my MVP. But the awards don't get announced until later. Well, what do you mean?
I mean, most valuable policy.
From who, Saquon?
Who do you think? Cure Auto Insurance. Take it from me. They're the cure.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, they are correct.
Eat like an early riser with an iced coffee for $1 and pair it with a bagel sandwich.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Paul Cotter's third of the preseason has given the Devils a 3-2 lead here in the third. Flyers season ticket memberships for the 25-26 season are available now. Get exclusive benefits, concessions, and merchandise discounts. New rewards and more. Join the team. Text plans to 61259 to learn more.
Time to check in on our countdown to opening night, presented by Fidelity Wealth Management. Flyers start their regular season, as we've mentioned, in 5 days, Thursday, against the Panthers. Right now, they'd like to get a goal, tie this game back up. Final preseason game. Couturier wins the draw. Back out to Sealer. Across for Drysdale. Michkov will get that puck back. Finds Sealer. Sealer trying to get free at the point. Michkov gets it back to him. Now Drysdale flips one. And that one up high was seen all the way by Allen.
We'll score the puck drop package and get a ticket to the Flyers game on October 18th. Plus an autographed puck only at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com.
5:48 remaining here. As a player, you want to win every time you hit the ice, of course, but did you ever put any stock in the wins and losses in preseason, or is it just...
I mean, for a goalie you do, because it matters to you, right? I don't know that teams typically feel that way, but I will say, I mean, after 40 minutes, if I'm in that locker room, I can envision the guys saying, hey, let's win this last one, right? You want to end the preseason on a good note and feel good heading into a couple of days of practice before you start the season. So if there's one game that matters, maybe it's this one.
Here's Cotter. Setting it down low. Cut off by Dvorak. Christian Dvorak looking for an outlet. Finds York. Now the scrum in center. Dvorak goes across ice. Devils were ready for that, and now Couturier will drop it back. The stick goes flying. York gets it to Sanheim. Sanheim hits Konechny with some speed to Zegras. Zegras will fling in. Konechny is there. Couldn't get it back to Tippett. He was checked on the wall. Zegras escapes with it. Flings it right back through the blue out to Konechny. Konechny to the point. Shot. Sealer save made as Allen had the answer. Back to Sealer it goes. For Konechny, and now Drysdale to Zegras right along the line. For Drysdale trying to turn away from a check. Tippett finds the puck, got it in front. It slips through to Sealer. Sealer holding, waiting, walking the line some. Back out to Tippett. Tippett back to Sealer for the shot, and a save by Allen. And the Flyer defense activated. Here's Drysdale across. Bouncing puck for Tippett. He's got it now. Hands off to Zegras. Zegras saucers to Konechny. Back to Zegras. Shot went wide. Now Sealer tried to drag it in front, but was denied in tight by Allen. Edwards all wrapped up. Konechny comes in. The puck back out to the point, gets through Drysdale as we head to the Toyota RAV. 4 minutes to play in the third. Flyers pushed there.
Yeah, some good chances. Sealer with a couple of good opportunities, and even Sealer getting active in the offensive zone with some good movement.
Legayet intercepts a puck in center, and it hops up into the Philadelphia bench, leading to a whistle. We'll be back. Last part of the third.
Dear Friday, let's put good times in gear. We've got power tailgates to power game days, and a trailer backup guide that's the champ of the ramp. Heck, we might even cancel Monday. Toyota Trucks.
Get low APRs or great cashback offers on Toyota trucks like Tundra and Tundra iForce Max Hybrid. Shop online and visit your nearest Tri-State Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Here, champions aren't born, they're built on fields, in care settings, in every moment that matters. So it's game time, where every detail is executed with precision. Everybody locked in. We all have a role to play. And we've got one goal, to care for this community, because everyone here deserves the best.
It's the biggest deal in breakfast, Dunkin's $6 meal deal. You get a medium iced or hot coffee, bacon, egg, and cheese, and 6 toasty hash browns. Dunkin's $6 meal deal is back.
The RAV4 Minutes to Play is brought to you by Toyota. Visit Toyota.com to find your 2025 Toyota RAV4 today. Toyota, let's go Flyers.
Flyers trying to get back even in this game. Late third period, down 3-2. The guys break down the final position battles as the opening night roster takes shape. Follow your team all season long with Joe and Jordan on their Flyers Talk podcast.
Sealer with a good opportunity. Watch the knob of the stick of Allen. Oh, that's what got the puck out of harm's way. Now that's lucky.
Yeah, that part of the stick has come in handy for him more than once here today. But Allen has been good. He stopped 29 shots. Markstrom, of course, the #1 in New Jersey, but good to have a veteran like Allen as the backup. Devils 2 years ago, goaltending was a major issue for them. They went out and picked up some veterans last year. And
no longer.
Now a strength.
Great 1-2 punch. Yep.
There's Yinning. And then pass to Cates. Levenkin knocks down the puck. Got it quickly to Cates, but it just went out of his reach. Now York keeps it in. Take down to 3 minutes to play in this game. We'll start keeping an eye on Vladar. See when Rick Tocchet might want to get him to the bench for the extra attacker. York back to get the puck. Cam York to Christian Dvorak. Air underneath it into the Devils zone. Chalowski first to it. Gets it. He has some trouble with York. Couturier in there as well. Dvorak arrives, as does Michkov, but the puck is still on the wall. Officials imploring the players to keep it going. Flyers really don't like that either as the clock's running. The roll all the way down. Will be icing. It is icing. As I say, will be if Sanheim wins the race. He won it. Let's go on our first prospect watch of the season. This is great. Porter Martone's first shift as a Spartan up there in Michigan State. There he is, 22 in front. First shift, first goal. As a collegiate, he had an assist. Goal and an assist in his first game as Michigan State won 4-0. He'll be playing for Rick Tocchet. One would imagine Couturier also, but it's Villain who winds up with the puck. Actually, it's Legaye with the puck now. He'll move it across. Diot from the red line hammers it in. And that one, I guess, off of Vladar. Not that awkwardly, but it stayed out. Here's Cates moving up. The feed to Michkov with some speed. Michkov dangles, centers off the stick of Allen. It sat there, but Dvorak couldn't see it. It went behind him. Now racing back with 12 seconds to go are the Devils. So it got it into the quarter. Flyers have it back. Only 6 seconds here, and so Michkov just sends a pop fly to the New Jersey zone, and that's how the third period comes to an end. So why not some more hockey here in the preseason? We go to overtime. Each team has scored a goal in all 3 periods. 3-3 after 60.
Winning golf is back. Amazing shots and plenty of high fives. Join PGA Golf professional Doug Hendricks for stunning courses, helpful tips, and more winning golf shots. Each week, our champions putt to win a new GMC Terrain from the Tri-State Buick GMC dealers, plus great prizes from FootJoy, Titleist, and Scotty Cameron putters. Sundays at 7 on NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Between the Devils and Flyers after 60 minutes. See how we got here. Kevin Rooney with a nice little redirect. Got things started for the Devils. Sanheim tied it up. The feed from Lachenko. And a couple of power play goals. First, it's Haminaho from LaChance. Made it 2-1. Konechny ties it up. On the feed from Michkov on the power play. A little miscue between Vladar and Sealer makes it 3-2 Devils, and then Konechny ties it up with a laser. late in the third period, and now we get some 3-on-3 action.
Flyers, 2 wins in the preseason have come in extra time, both via shootouts. They'll try to end this one in the overtime. Vladar gets himself ready. Flyers will start with Konechny, Couturier, and Sanheim, the veterans who've done this before. Devils. And now Rooney with Cotter and Cholowski. That's about as veteran as they can get with the lineup that they have. And we'll see how this goes. Flyers win the draw, and it's a possession game. They get the first one. Sanheim to Konechny. Will gain the Devils line, pick up speed, wheel around behind the net, pursued by Cholowski. Draws 2 Devils to him, but didn't have anybody to get it to. Now it's Couturier. Back to Konechny. Konechny to Sanheim for the shot, and he missed it wide. Cholowski. Now the Devils have their turn with the puck as Rooney. They drop it to Cotter. Cotter starts up. He turns the puck over. Zegras to it for Philadelphia. Zegras with Michkov. There is Michkov. From the angle! He had Allen spinning away from the post, but the puck stayed out, and then it's cleared out of play.
And then I don't know how Zegras didn't get to that puck.
Zegras thinks it was in, or perhaps he's looking up at the scoreboard.
Oh, man. LaChance able to save it after the fact. I don't think it ever goes in right there. Allen gets spinning, keeps it out. There's LaChance to whack it away, and Zegras not able to get a stick on it.
The Devils win the draw. Addison momentarily taken back by Dvorak. Again, he's after the puck. Knocks it away, but from one knee, Glendening able to get the puck to LaChance. LaChance weaves in, takes the shot. That one up high. Vladar made the save, pushes it ahead. I'm not sure. It looked like his mask might have been off a little bit. Or we play on. Here is Dvorak to Michkov. Michkov around behind the net. Back to Dvorak. York out with them. Dvorak waiting. Back to Michkov. Had so much success at overtime early last year. Angles his way in around behind the net. Looking, but his pass off the mark for York. He has to hustle back. Gritchuk after him. Gritchuk will get to the puck. York knocks him down. Legally, it's York the other way now, and across the line. York, drop pass, Michkov waits, goes to Flaherty's check. Now York a backhander. That one off of Allen wide. Now the puck played up, and Gritchuk has it with lots of ice to work with. Back is Drysdale just off the bench. Gritchuk will play it back, and now Edwards for the Devils. Ethan Edwards with the pass. Devils will move in. They're this way, but it's broken up. Flyers now a chance to go the other way with it. Tippett. With Zegras. They're onside. Zegras still has it. To Tippett. Tippett dinks the backhander off the outside. Tippett trying to recover the puck. Bounces ahead. And the Flyers will keep it away from the Devils. Drysdale to Couturier. As Couturier hits center ice, well, he lost the puck. And then he takes a hit. He goes down, but Konechny carries on. He's tripped up. Crowd wants a penalty. They're not going to get it, and Konechny is steamed. He is yelling at the referee as Cotter makes his way to center ice. Cotter in across the Philadelphia line. Drops it back. That's going to go out to the neutral zone. Cholowski will have to retrieve. Cholowski to Kevin Rooney. Rooney for Cotter. He's going to turn back with it again. And again. Brink pursues. The pass is out in center ice. Gritchuk has it there, and he'll get it back to Cotter with some speed to the Philadelphia line. Nope, decides to turn back with it again, and he'll throw it back into his own zone. Cotter looks like he's trying to get to the shootout. Now Gritchuk will start back. Talented newcomer for the Devils. Makes his way to the Philadelphia line. Goes back across. That goes out to center, so LaChance will have to back up with it. And he'll play it across to Cholowski. Back for LaChance. Big forward. Throws his way in and fires that one off the stick of Sanheim and out of play.
Shane LaChance, the son of Scott LaChance, with a good opportunity earlier in the overtime period. Hits Vladar right in the mind. And Vladar alertly keeps the play alive and puts a snap back on. Allowing the Flyers to go down the other end, and then Konechny gets tripped up by Edwards, and Konechny wants to know where the whistle is.
That's what he was saying right there.
He says, "Where's the whistle?" That's what he said. Don't read lips.
Bush is paraphrasing.
Don't read lips.
1:14 to go in the overtime. Flyers get the puck off the draw. York, straight line to center. York swings toward the middle, drops it off. Here's Dvorak, the shot save, made rebound. Bounces back to Dvorak, centers it in front of the shot. Oh, and the answer on Michkov. Now it's York to Dvorak. Michkov got some screen in front. He moves toward the slot and fires. And Allen a peek behind him, but he's got it in his equipment. Michkov a couple of opportunities.
Well, Jake Allen at 35 years old, providing some old school goaltending here. He made a nice glove save earlier in the game on Rodrigo Albles, where he was able to dress it up a little and makes an old school kick save right there. I mean, you don't see much of that anymore.
Yeah.
Shades of Marty Brodeur, I guess you could say.
Well, that Devils uniform on, that's what you think of.
Yeah.
49.9 seconds left. Flyers send the veteran forwards. Konechny, Couturier out. Drysdale joins them this time. He's going to take it back into the Philadelphia zone, get it to a cutting Konechny. Konechny picking up speed and across the line. Konechny holds, waits, finds Couturier. Couturier had the puck hop over his stick. He gets it back. Finds Konechny. Konechny to Drysdale. He misplays it. And a chance. And then he trips the man up, and a penalty coming up. It'll be Konechny getting back to touch the puck.
It's got to be a penalty shot, isn't it?
Is it a penalty shot or not? It doesn't appear so. Let's see. They're consulting.
I mean, I'd say it has to be. I mean, he was gone.
The only question is, did he have possession of the puck?
He did not.
Yeah, that would probably rule out the penalty shot. Looks like a 4-on-3.
Well, the Flyers catch a break there because a tough pass for Drysdale to handle, and oh man, that is I guess you could make the argument that was it Konechny there? Who's coming back? Is that Tippett? Maybe Tippett would have been there to negate it, but I don't know. I think that should be a penalty shot.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
even if he's tipping it ahead, he was clearly going to get to the puck.
Yeah.
So, but
although Tippett was coming full bore,
Yeah.
it looked like he may have caught him.
Yeah, I would count Tippett as a guy who could catch just about anybody. But a 4-on-3 for the Devils here in the final seconds of the overtime. Addison fumbles the puck away to Couturier, who thought about a pass, then just cleared it out of the zone. It ends up being offside at the Philadelphia line with 17.3 seconds left.
Should that face-off go all the way down?
They're saying no. Not intentional.
I think Todd Reardon, the assistant coach, I thought maybe he was signaling for that. They're not going to. Now he's providing instruction to Cam York.
Cotter on the draw with Couturier. They battle all the way to the wall. Addison to the puck. One last push for the Devils. Addison off to LaChance. LaChance has to use that big body to protect the puck. Got it around behind the net. York is there 5 seconds. He'll clear it. And that takes care of the overtime. So, of course, a shootout here in the final preseason game. 65 minutes, not enough to determine a winner. The skills competition will follow. It'll be the Flyers trying to win a game via a shootout for a third time in this preseason.
Oh, may as well practice everything, right?
That's right.
5-on-5, 3-on-3. Shootout. Take a look at our Chevrolet player of the game, and it's Travis Konechny. Picked up a power play goal in the second period on the feed from Michkov. That got him started this afternoon, and then late able to rip this one top shelf past Jake Allen. A couple of goals for Konechny, and he picks up our Chevrolet player of the game, and I'm sure he's not done. One would imagine that he may be one of the shooters. You talked about Trevor Zegras.
Yeah, Zegras will be a shooter. And we talked about this the other night. I mean, it's not Sam Harris tonight, but Sam Villar last year stopped 9 of 11 shootout attempts. But the Flyers now with this guy, Trevor Zegras, 13 of 21 in his career, the best all-time shootout percentage of anybody who's taken at least 20 shootout attempts.
So when do you have him start? What would you do?
I think well, let's see who's going to shoot. I think the Flyers are going to shoot
I would
first,
always have him go first. I mean, to me as a goalie, I want to grab the lead. I'm not saying whether you go first or not, but like he would be my first shooter
Gonna be Bobby
to
Brink.
set the tone.
Yeah, I'm with you, but Bobby Brink will go first. Bobby 2 for 7 in his career, 1 for 3 last year. Jake Allen, veteran goaltender who has seen a shootout or two. We're waiting on Lou Nolan to give out the instructions on the shootout, apparently. Bobby Brink gets us started. Deliberately moving very slowly, weaving his way toward the net. And the answer from Allen.
All the zigzagging didn't seem to bother Jake Allen at all. Watch where he ends up when this shot comes. He's at the top of the blue paint. And when you come in that slow, I mean, the idea that you're going to push the goaltender back becomes a little bit more difficult.
Only a couple Devils in their lineup that have taken NHL shootout shots. This is not one of them. Gritsuk cutting his way in, and I'm not sure if Vladar got a piece or not, but it did not go.
Well, the left shot, Gritsuk trying to take it from his backhand to his forehand, which changes the angle by about 2 to 3 feet. He missed it wide. Had the right idea.
Here we go. Trevor Zegras. 13 of 21. That is 62%. Shootouts, this one won't count, of course, because it's in the preseason, but we still get to watch him work his magic. Dinks and score. He makes it look so easy.
Wow. And it's just a change of speeds. He starts slow, then picks it up, and that can, when you pick up the speed, it can force the goaltender back a little bit. And when you come in too slow, the goaltender doesn't have to get back, and he just slides it right underneath the pad. Great poise by Zegras.
Paul Cotter will go next. He has a history with the shutout. He's 4 for 10, not bad. And he races on in. And could not slip it past Vladar.
Looked like he was trying to sift this 5-hole. Yeah, he tried a little trickery, a little sorcery. Not happening. Vladar gets down and makes the save.
So Konechny can end it. He is 5 for 27 for his career, but had 3 of those last year. He's going to move in from the right wing. Waits, and flips it up and scores! And he wins the hockey game for the Flyers. Travis Konechny finishes it off. And the Flyers win the hockey game 4-3. All 3 of their wins in the preseason via the shootout. Look out, NHL. They're the new shootout dominant team. That was a nifty move by Konechny.
It was, and he's our Chevrolet player of the game, and he comes through in the shootout. We saw this move several times last year. Likes to get the goaltender to move, and then just a little chip shot over the glove. Tough when the goalie's moving from his left to his right to catch up with a shot back against the grain. Savvy play there by Konechny as they bail out their goaltender, Dan Vladar, who had a little hiccup there in the 3rd period. They battle back. Konechny scores a late goal, and then eventually the game winner in the shootout. Overall, a solid effort for the Flyers.
They finished their preseason at 3-4 and look forward to the regular season. And that begins on Thursday night in South Florida against the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. Coverage starts at 6:30. For our entire crew, including producer Casey Feeney, director, the one, the only Mike Mulligan, and my partners Brian Boucher and Ashlyn Sullivan, I'm Jim Jackson. Thanks for watching Flyers Hockey. Birds Huddle is coming up next.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks, like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful
No matter where you are, every weekday morning. NBC 10 News Today. Count on it.
I had to leave my baby in the hospital NICU.
If we come together, we can help every mom and baby be healthy and strong.
Join March for Babies, a mother of a movement.
Nick Sirianni and offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo chatting before today's practice at the NovaCare Complex. Will they have any tricks up their sleeve on Sunday?
They better.
Against the Broncos, it's a matchup between the best red zone offense and the best red zone defense. Maybe, just maybe, they'll go to A.J. Brown in the red zone. His only touchdown came in Week 3 against the Rams. And with that, welcome into Birds Huddle presented by Toyota. Ashlyn Sullivan, Barrett Brooks here with you. Barrett, the Broncos coming with the second fewest points allowed in the NFL, just 16.8 points per game. We might have ourselves a low-scoring game on Sunday.
That's exactly what it's going to be. It's one of those, draw out, go out there, physically, I'm going to punch you in the mouth, you're going to punch me back. We're going to go down the field. We're going to, play great defenses. I know a lot of people don't like defensive battles, but, hey, just get your popcorn ready, sit back, drink whatever you need to drink to, calm yourself down, because this will be a defensive battle. It'll be won through defense. Who doesn't make the most mistakes will win the game. It's not bad football. In fact, it's great football. Sit back and watch what defenses do. It's not all about the offense every single time. The defensive guys get paid also.
Boring.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes, I love it. I love it.
And that brings us to our three-point stance presented by Toyota. Number 1, this may not be the week to feed A.J. Brown. Denver cornerback Patrick Surtain is elite, the reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year, the best cornerback in the league. Surtain held Jamar Chase to 1 catch, 3 targets, 13 possessions when they squared off. Get the argument. Of course, the Eagles got to get A.J. Brown the football more. You want to see way more out of this offense. It's not functioning near at the level that it can be. But to force A.J. Brown the targets in the football this week, frankly, Barrett, I don't think is a recipe for a win.
It's not going to be a recipe for a win, because if you force the ball, you're going to make mistakes. You don't want to just go out there just throwing the ball haphazardly. And I'm saying, I'm not saying that Jalen will do that. But why put the ball up there when you have, 2 really good corners? Riley Moss is pretty good. McMillan's a pretty good cornerback also. But then you add Patrick Surtain. He's the reigning, like you said, defensive player of the year last year. Why even jeopardize that? Now, we know that Smitty has played against him a lot, went against him in practice and everything. They were teammates. Mm-hmm. So he knows a little bit more about him than, and last time they played him, he kind of had, he had a better game than he is. So they battled, you know what I mean? But how do you approach this? Do we go out there and continue to bump our head against the wall with the run game, or do we throw it up there and give it the chance? This is going to be one of the things where, they're going to have to work through to see what we can do. Maybe we pass underneath it. But A.J., I feel as though he's going to go out there and win. I think that he's going to use this game as a barometer on where he is as far as being the greats in the NFL as far as receivers. Just like you said, Jamar Chase went out there, had 1 catch. 1 catch. But I truly believe, that they're going to do well. Plus, like I said, Vance Joseph, that's a fraternity brother.